affect the opponent. He's going to spot a Hellranger. That's going to be one last man standing. That's SK Rossi tapping onto the spike and they started lightning fast. Thank God, along with Hellranger, definitely finds one. Is that gonna be two? He finds two. 34 HP. That's one. Waiting for the right time. That's one. Will he find the 29 yard? They're both gonna pick up the kill. The PNC breaking equals. Two is extremely low. Shivy with the spray, finding a double kill. Shivy with a triple. Your champion, definitely worthy of a journey.
Where is everyone hiding?
I'll handle this. I'll fight everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, even with a man advantage, it seems that the Blackhawk is getting burned to a crisp. He's not going to be able to hit the shots. As goes from the side as he gets that kill down on the name. It's going to be quite difficult with the crossfire being set up, but it's going to be whipping him.
As 30 seconds left, we can go.
What is going to be hit the time it in? 1, 2, 3, Jones is able to come out on top and Sai, he gets the corner. Sai, he's able to survive. He gets the tech on his line. And Sai with the 4K. Absolutely insane clutch coming out from the Phoenix.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the LG Ultragear TEC Invitational 2, powered by HyperX, and we have Booyah as our broadcast partner. We're back with more action. This is going to be the first half between XTZ Esports and Godlike Esports. My name is Apollonia. I'll be your host and caster. Joining me on the panel is CA, caster and analyst. CA, how are you feeling about today's matchup? I think it's going to be really spicy.
Oh, absolutely. I'm really excited for it, and I want to just see more and more of these teams as we go forward. So, starting off today for the lower bracket semifinals is the perfect matchup. It's Godlike Esports with that new component in Heaven, and XTZ Esports looking much freer from their previous matchup as they ever did. So, both of these teams coming together now, it's sure to be a clash of titans.
All right, let's head straight into the map veto screen. Remember, guys, this is a best of 3, so there is the potential fact that we could go into map 3. But first up, map number 1, we're gonna have Ascent, map 2 Haven, and map 3 that will be Icebox. So let's put a little bit more focus on map number 1 since it is about to begin. It is Ascent, and there's a lot of long range battles and whatnot. What do you think we can expect coming out from XTZ and Godlike Esports?
So, to start us off, with respect to Godlike, I'm really interested to see if they do end up going for the single duelist or the solo duelist composition. The single duelist because you can try to play the Sky for Heaven, or I was going to say the solo duelist because you want to have Scarguard on that Phoenix or Reyna pick, so he has a lot more agency, and it's exactly what they're going to do. Scarguard on that Phoenix already tells me that DM's going to go onto the Jet, and they're going to run a very standard composition with Heaven picking up that smoker role. Now, for the side of XTZ, I'm noticing Sai hover that race with Harsh on the Jet, and that's a new look for them. So I'm excited to see what they do bring out because XTZ, I think their stronger map among these three is going to be Ascent.
All right, but it seems like we did have a little bit of a miscommunication here. Map 1 is actually going to be Haven, not for map 2. So, let's just change everything. We're going to look at this from a fresh start. Map 1, Haven. Now, Haven, there's a lot of opportunity on this map. 3 sites that you can work with. Very attack favored, something that we talk about. But there are times where teams do truly shine, where they have to hold it down on the side of defense. Now, looking at the compositions, it has been locked in. Both team compositions are exactly the same. So when you're looking at the approach that both XTZ and GodL have, it is similar. The Phoenix coming in with the flashes, it works really well with all of the little corners and whatnot, and then to have that Jet. Now, looking at Deathmaker going up against Psy, that is definitely going to be a treat, especially that both of them are Jet mains, and that operator, it's so cool to watch it when both of them have it. What are you looking forward to, CA?
I think it's a really exciting matchup. Whenever I think of Haven, it does become the idea, especially when that maker is involved at DM Playground. So I want to see more of how he's able to really get that up early on into the game and start making it work. Use that to get first blood as much as possible. And then secondly, looking at the side of XTZ, I noticed actually that it's a bit of a switch up. What we expect now happening today is Harsh plays that Jet and it's Sai playing that Phoenix. So more of
Wow.
a different look for XTZ Esports as they continue to really exploit the freedom they felt. They looked really good and confident the last time we saw them. So I'm hoping these newfound picks come to show that they really are progressing as a team. Either ways, it's going to be an exciting matchup today.
Indeed, this is the thing about XTZ. Most teams generally have a dedicated player for a specific agent, but it's not going to be Psy on Jet. It will be Harsh instead. Now, when you look at Harsh, he is a player that has been moved around a lot when you're looking at roles. He used to start out as a Cypher. Sometimes you see him on a controller, and now on a duelist. So Harsh on that Jet. Looking forward to it. Psy on that Phoenix. He's going to have to set up those plays for his teammates. And Blackhawk, he's going to take that Sentinel role. Rexy and Wimp more on the utility side. And we're going to have a quick look over on the side of God L Deathmaker on that Jet. As mentioned, Whitehorse, that dedicated Sentinel player. Scar God on the Phoenix. Shivi and Havan, Sova and Omen. Now, we do see a couple of light armors for the side of God L, one for XTZ. They are going to go for that attack for Ghost. I think we can try to look for those headshots that they will be gunning for. Scar God picking up first blood onto Harsh right there in the middle area of the map across from B side into window. What a kill there. It's a 3v3 and Blackhawk firing away. Wimp, he's going to try his chance right now.
Now 3v3 on the map, and you can see the trade so far having gone in favorably towards the attackers. They've got seaside control, and now they're Omen pushing into CT. He's gonna
player
find
standing.
White Horse right here. Rexy picks up one, and with that 2-man advantage, it's gonna be an easy plant, a long plant set up for XTZ
Spike
Esports.
planted.
Hewan, last man standing with a ghost in his name. Now this ghost actually reminds me of the fact that, hey, we're on a new patch. You notice that no longer is it the frenzy meta. All the players going for either light shields or ghosts, making sure to remember that frenzy did get a little bit nerfed. Now back to the round, though. The paranoia comes in, one hit, another kill as well. Hewan with the heroics for Blackhawk, making sure to stay
more
hidden.
charges left.
Meaning, despite his teammates' mistakes, he's able to clutch out the round,
more
pick up the
charges
pistols for XTZs.
XTZ Esports picking up the first point for themselves, but it was indeed a very close round. Hey, Van there picking up a double. That is crazy. He had only 38 HP to work with. Right here, we can see it on the instant replay. That was absolutely nuts. Just dashing out the paranoia. It does connect them to one, so that bought him a little bit of time. Blackhawk saving the day, and we're gonna move into the second round. XTZ going in with the Spectre buys. We do see the Phantom for Harsh there. He is gonna pick up the first kill. Sai with the curveball, making himself known in B side. Gets tagged, turns around, picks up Deathmaker, and he's just gonna pull it back. Shivy going for the aggressive play and picks up a beautiful kill on Sai. Rexy's gonna find one of his own. Two defenders left. Rexy makes that one. Whitehorse is the last man standing.
Spike planted.
1v4. Virus, we dressed the pistol. Won't be able to do much. Rexy takes him down for his triple. Really showing up today. He's playing that Omen, one of the most flexible players on the side of XTZ, making sure that he looks really damn strong in every single agent. And with only one agent having gone down for XTZ Esports, Sai was the only one down. It will mean that they don't really have much investment going into this round. So a bonus picked up for them. They started off this map really well, and it's really important to get that strong start going so that they can deny that snowball of eco on the defense side, deny the operator as long as possible, and make sure that without the operator on DM, it becomes that much harder for Godlike Esports to be able to pull off a defensive coup. Now for me, this round is going to be the true test of Godlike Esports. This is their buy. They've got those Phantoms and Vandals through. So if they're able to pull back this round, it does mean that their eco stabilized a little bit, and they can look towards the next, which will be XTZ's true buy, to then push forward for a snowball. But XTZ, they've looked very confident with their plays. They keep going for these peaks, and they win them. And when XTZ is winning the duels, that's when they're at their very best.
Alright, moving into the next round, we can see the buys on the side of Godlike Esports. They do have the firepower, and usually most teams they start to pick up on the third round. XTZ, great start on the side of attack. 4 kills for Rexy. It was a great triple the last time around. And charging up the ultimates, none quite available just yet, but going into a little bit of a tactical pause. Now, when we're looking at Haven as a map here, CA, you know, 3 sides, it's huge. There is a lot of space to work with. What do you think is the best way to go about defense, at least for Haven? Because most teams seem to struggle with it. There's just too many angles to cover.
Ideally, if you have that perfect op player, you want to get the op around. But in the earlier rounds, when you don't have that, you want to try and play a bit more proactive with your utility to try and gain control. A-long and C-long control become insanely important because of the fact that if you're able to maintain it, not only do you get the ult orbs, but you also get a significant portion of the map where the attackers can't really push. And if you have either one of those sides, it sort of funnels them into the other and gives a lot of information to the defense. So you can see for Godlike, they trying to do that with their setups, like the way the camera is set up in A, for example, to get the information as much as possible. It's not happening so far though, because XTZ repeatedly contesting it, taking mid control and pushing in aggressively. Once again, a very fast execute onto C. They've got that C side for themselves. The Scarguard, he's able to trade outside, but the trade going in favor of XTZ as they get the real estate, they get the plant, and now can play for the post.
Spike has been planted. 3v4 situation. It doesn't look like a good time for Godlike Esports. In comes the curveball. Shivy's gonna go down to Harsh. And that makes it a 2v4. Scarguard gets tagged by Paranoia. Whitehorse is gonna pick up one. Scarguard finds a kill, and Whitehorse gonna find that double. Harsh is the last man standing, 27 HP to work with, 2 updrafts. Whitehorse going for the defuse, and it might just be his to take as Scargard successfully defends his buddy. Triple kill to end off the round, and a great pickup for Godlike Esports.
A really nice round from Scargard, using the flashes brilliantly to push into this side right after the plant was done, meaning that he knows that the chaos very much inherently present in the side of XTZ. Before they're able to get in the post plants, he uses the flash to just push in aggressively and make sure that despite his location being revealed after he took out Sai, that advantage that XTZ had with that information completely nullified because he's pushing aggressively and they can't really account for that since they just planted. Doing that, picking up the triple with Whitehorse, able to pick up the round, and now you can see Godlike Esports, they're the ones pushing forward. Started off a little bit slow, but now they're all guns blazing, looking for the trades. Now XTZ, they did completely invest into this round. They have the buys all around, but so far it hasn't worked out brilliantly for them. They've lost 2 for 1 in terms of trades, so it's going to be up to them to pull it back. Now Harsh with 1, but Shivi with an instantaneous trade, meaning Godlike in a comfortable position to close it out.
Deathmaker puts a bullet right through the head of Harsh. Wimp, last man around. Just gonna change up his angle, go towards the B side. Having no clue that Deathmaker's just trailing behind him, just missing by a hair. And that is gonna be Whitehorse taking him down 2-all on the scoreboard. As Godlike Esports, they bounce back and they mean business. XTZ, at least here on the side of attack, they've got to try and pick up the pace. But Godlike, they're looking comfortable here.
Yeah, Godlike, it really does feel like they're starting to come into their element. They're doing a lot more of those proactive peaks that I was talking about earlier, trying to just not even more like gain control, more like deny control to XTZ, because XTZ's prime comfort zone lies in taking that mid area for themselves, trying to push into garage or trying to push into C long, and then looking to use that to then secure the round for themselves. And Godlike again and again trying to deny that, but this time XTZ, they adapt. You could see from the start of the round they were waiting in behind for Godlike to push up, and Sai is able to punish Heavan, get that first blood for his team. Now Harsh looking for more with the blade storms, does not land the knives, instead is gonna get flashed out and push back. But Scargard himself, with multiple people moving in for XTZ, they're looking for this garage control. Scargard lonesome to hold it down. He'll get taken down. 2 for 0 for XTZ. Eco going brilliantly.
Neural Theft has been dropped by Blackhawk as he makes his way over to the B side, but the spike is being transported over to A instead. Blackhawk taking out Deathmaker. What a play. Blackhawk just moving around in garage, taking out Scargard and another member of God L. That is going to, another member of God L was just absolutely insane. Now 4 ultimates are ready. It looks like the attackers are very much comfortable. Out comes the Paranoia. Triple kill for Blackhawk. And Harsh ends it all with the Blade Storm. A thrifty round for XTZ Esports. Beautifully done. Blackhawk was most definitely in the spotlight that previous round there.
Yeah, the entire team of XTZ doing brilliantly. Sai with the first kill, but then as you said, Blackhawk with a really important look, and then with a really important play towards the latter half to be able to secure the round, because winning a thrifty itself is utterly phenomenal. Like for a team, the amount of morale you get, the amount of tempo you get by winning a thrifty, it's huge. But in this specific situation, winning this thrifty effectively denies any option of the operator to come through for Godlike Esports and keeps them even. And on the attacking side, the fact that you're still able to take the lead in that eco, make sure that you're in the comfort zone, you're in the driver's seat. XTZ, once again, mid control is the name of the game, and they do it brilliantly. Looking for the peaks, they get the first kill, and now able to push into B side effectively. They have the option of using A-Link or C-Link to funnel into the respective sides, but with Rexy getting caught out, it should be a B side plant coming through for XTZ Esports.
Blackhawk getting that spike planted. Shivy, he's gonna pop the Hunter's Fury, looking for a target, and he does tag Sai. There is the run it back, and it's gonna keep Sai very much safe. Whitehorse is gonna pick up a kill onto Whip, 6 HP. Sai doesn't have much to work with as Whitehorse takes him down. 4v1, make that a 3. Blackhawk's the last man standing. He's firing away, and that shock dart is gonna tag him. Blackhawk fights Shivy. He's gonna fight Scargard, but Heavan wraps that up. What a beautiful bit of play there from Blackhawk. Unfortunately, it wasn't quite enough. And Hayvan, he is going to secure this point for Godlike Esports.
And these rounds are really coming down to the wire. Both of these teams giving it all they got. But at the end of the day, it did come down to the fact that like the B side, very difficult to hold down. It's the easiest side to retake as the defenders on this map. And going for that plant, you have to be able to control either A-Link or C-Link, or have a lot of utility already available to be able to spam through for post plant. The fact that neither really happened with not perfect post plant positions for XTZ, and with Sai getting caught off, like that Phoenix with his utility in that backside area meant that XTZ not able to hold on to their post plants and Godlike able to push through. Now you can notice that the op coming through for Deathmaker, he's gonna get accompanied by Hevan as they take aggressive C-long control. Now they will end up taking down this Trapper, or actually could Shadow Step over it too, leaving Blackhawk, this lurker, completely surprised. But the amount of information they're gaining by just being here is absolutely humongous for Godlike Esports. Now from the shadows coming through for XTZ though, they're trying to go for a fast side execute. The paranoia perfectly timed with the push from the sewers is XTZ clearing out the side completely and now able to go for the plant.
XTZ's gotta watch their back. Blackhawk gets taken down by Hayvan. Now it's gonna be Sai next in line, and he gets headshotted by Deathmaker. 3v3, Skargar with the curveball. He's gonna find Harsh, looks for the second kill, but Rexy is gonna come out on top of that one. 2v2, Spike has been planted, and it's definitely against Godlike Esports. Hayvan with the paranoia, just gonna dish that out. Whip falls to Deathmaker, and Rexy from the heavens rains down, picks up a total of a 4K. Rexy, that was absolutely crazy, just standing right up there. I did like the post-plant position coming out from Rexy and his buddy, just right up there in heaven, being able to take out the last two remaining members. I do believe it was Wimp that caught the attention of Hayvan and Deathmaker. Quick look at it again on the instant replay. Beautifully done. Scoreline 3-4. It definitely is pretty close. And what's really cool about both these teams is that Godlike Esports placed second in the first Invitational and XTZ Esports third. So, you know, when it comes to skill level, it is pretty close. And now Godlike Esports forced into an eco. We do see some sheriffs. This could be shifty here.
2 kills already going in favor of XTZ. That was a bit of a weird situation for Godlike there, because it was due to the fact that they smoked it out, but that jet smoke being only 4 seconds now meant that they're not able to do it down. But Deathmaker, with just the ghost, jiggles it through, finds headshots twice in a row, able to find 2 kills, equalize the agent line, and also pick up a gun for himself, meaning Godlike now in a very good position to try and just hold their angles and close it out. But XTZ, they're trying to push their advantage as much as possible. They know that they've traded out and A side likely open, so they're going for the full rotate, trying to push it through. But these ghosts for Godlike Esports, Skargar with another kill to get the advantage for Godlike. It's going to be down to Harsh and Wimp to close it out. Wimp does have his Hunter's Fury though, so you can see him retreat back into that long position, trying to play for that post plot.
Harsh taking cover up there in A tower. He's gonna be accompanied by his buddy Wimp there. Back on the defuse. Harsh taken out by Skargar. Wimp there, ready to make it a 1-for-1 trade. Wimp utilizing their recon bolt and that firewall raised by Skargar. Perfect way to play it. Skargar's gonna clean that up. 3K this round for the Phoenix himself. And this is Godlike Esports, maintaining the balance in the scoreline. So, you know, every round, XTZ takes one, Godlike takes one. It's really hard to tell the outcome of this matchup, at least here. We are going to have a few more rounds until the second half, but at least on the side of defense and attack, both teams standing strong. And, you know, we're going to take into account that teams have to definitely push their advantage on the attacking side, considering how Haven is built. It is definitely XTZ stepping up in this one. Skargar now with a total of 9 kills, Rexy with 9 as well. 3 ultimates to work with on both sides. Harsh is going to whip out the Blade Storm, and Skargar right around the corner on that C site. Let's see the approach that XTZ is going to take this time.
both of these teams, as you said, really damn close, and it doesn't really matter if they've got those rifles or those pistols, because they can pull out the kills out of nowhere. Now Rexy, he got first blood, but Scargard with a vengeance, he's picked up 3 more. Blackhawk finds a trade for those better guns, really working out for the side of Godlike Esports. It's gonna be them picking up the lead this time, and the rounds so far going back and forth, but with Godlike having picked up 2 in a row, it does mean that they have the option to once again pick up the operator. Now personally, I would like to see them stick to that Vandal Phantom to try and stabilize their eco as much as possible, because as you said, even a map where you need to try and exploit the attacking side as much as possible, even though XTZ are doing really well in certain rounds, at the end of the day, Godlike are going to be very happy with the fact that so far they are able to maintain that lead, and even if it goes to 6-6, that's a very comfortable position for them.
Indeed. And, you know, Scargod picking up that 4K, they make it look so easy to just pick up these kills. Scargod, and before him, it was Rexy. But you have to say that it's really spicy. 13 kills in total. Scargod is on form today. He's feeling the fire. Deathmaker just trailing right behind him. You know, and now that he has to run it back, the full buys, Deathmaker has picked up an op as well. XTZ, if they could push this lead and have the 2-round lead over XTZ, it's going to be a great time for GodL at least. Now Deathmaker looking for a kill. First man to fall is going to be Scargod. XTZ looking to bring it back. Deathmaker tries to run for his life, but Harsh is going to catch it by his tail. 3v4 situation. Side does get tagged, and then Shivy coming in to meet up with his team with the rotation. Now White Horse, he jumps down from A tower. He's gonna get bombarded from all corners. 1-for-1 trade, and the last 2 members here, Shivy and Hayvan, they're gonna try and pick up the scraps. It does look like Hayvan has retrieved the off. He could go like Esports. They're gonna give this one up, and XTZ, they're able to bring the scoreline to even Stevens.
Yeah, Godlike Esports making that smart call to hold on to the operator, Heaven able to pick it up, and with Shivy they end up going for the save. But the hunt is coming through for XTZ. Blackhawk, he gets taken down but reveals the location, so I do wonder if XTZ go for this peak here, but Wimp doesn't want to risk that off crosshair, will not do it, and it will mean that Godlike able to save the gun. But as you said, XTZ equalizing the scoreline, these 2 last rounds are going to be so important. XTZ need to try and make sure that they pick them up for themselves to try and get that lead through going into the second half, because not only is Godlike going into the attacking side on the second half, but it's also like traditionally having seen DM over these past couple of months, he's one of the players who takes a second to really get on like full form, like get started. The first half generally a bit slow from him, but he picks up the pace rapidly as the match goes on. So I'm excited to see if that happens now. XTZ, they're using their ultimates to perfect fashion, using their running back to aggressively take side control. They drop one trap fire and they get the information of where that Sova is located, and with all of the control, they are able to get easy plants through. Now once again, they have that Hunter's Fury to pay for the post plant, so they just have to play it safe, try and delay as long as possible.
Now the spike has been planted and all members are alive on both sides. White Horse up there and Heaven just dodging those bullets by taking cover in that corner there. Now the time for a retake is now, as Godlike, Sai's gonna find a kill. Shivy and Deathmaker, they're gonna pick up 3, and XTZ, they don't look too good. Harsh, he does get flashed by Scargod, and it's gonna be a defuse from Shivy. Wimp waiting for the right time, drops the Hunter's Fury, and Deathmaker with the drive-by just plants a dagger right into Wimp. And that's gonna be Godlike Esports attaining their 6th point. We're gonna move into the last round before the swap, and I must say, it does feel like we could potentially go into overtime.
I mean, you're rarely wrong with your overtime predictions, Apples. I'm excited.
I'm just gonna throw it out there.
At this point though, like Godlike Esports, you can already see they're starting to ramp up a little bit. The coordination in their play very much apparent. Like the way they're able to go for the retake there, the fact that they already knew to expect the Hunter's Fury play, going for that push through sewers and long at the same time, and denying more than one charge of the Hunter's Fury. Wimp be like, I'm the Hunter. DM be like, no, not really. Let me find the head of yours real quick. And Godlike again able to take the lead on the defense, starting off this last round brilliantly. That trapper not expected from them at all. He finds one. White House looking for another. Scargard actually finds one. But Wimp and Rexy able to trade it out, leaving Deathmaker lone standing in this side with the operator. He's able to find one though, backed up by White House for another kill. The spike dropped in C, and this round quickly going in the favor of Godlike Esports.
Blackhawk is on fire, and he takes out his gun, puts Shivy down, and it's a 1v1 situation. Blackhawk with not much HP to work with. He knows exactly where Whitehorse is. Blackhawk, however, he has to retrieve the spike. And Blackhawk's gonna clutch the round. What did we just watch? Rexy looks like he's in shock. Sigh as well in disbelief. What was that? Blackhawk. He was the last man standing, found 2 kills. His second kill was unbelievable because it took a while to whip his gun out. And that beautiful bit of patience to pick up that last kill onto Whitehorse, allowing his team to pick up an even scoreline at the end of the first half. That is truly amazing. We can see it right here on the instant replay. Unbelievable. I'm still in shock. But hey, we're going to move on with the action. Godlike Esports now will be on the side of attack, and XTZ Esports on the side of defense.
Blackhawk played that so brilliantly, not just in terms of micro with that flick, but also in terms of the mind games. With both of the ciphers knowing exactly where they were because of the neural tests coming out, the fact that Blackhawk elected to hold on, got Whitehorse to panic for a second, and got the kill for himself. Now XTZ on their defense, Godlike trying to go for a quick execute on the side, but Blackhawk and Harsh holding it down. That cipher demolishing any hopes of the attackers. 4 for 1 already in the favor of XTZ Esports as they look to pick up this point.
Trick shots.
Whitehorse coming in with the headshot, but it's still a 1v3 situation and a beautiful one tap there from Psy. That is going to be XTZ Esports coming in hot in that second half, securing the first round. It was a really quick round as well. Not sure about what Godlike had in mind. But, you know, XTZ Esports, at least on the side of defense, this is the start that they must have been eyeing for.
Yeah, it's really important you pick up that pistol when you go into defense, because once again, it becomes all about that snowball eco. You want to try and get that up on Harsh as soon as possible so that he's able to act as a pseudo-duelist on another side of the map where you don't have that cipher to be able to deny that E-long and C-long control. But for Godlike Esports, it's all about them trying to get to that buy round as soon as possible. So they need to try and cause some damage as much as they can in this pistol. And they're going to try to do that, spreading themselves all across the map, looking for the picks. XTZ though playing this very well, defensive on C side, using an off-angle camera to get that long control while they set up the trap fires to play very towards the back of the side. On A side though, they've taken A long control, looking for the peak setup with a flash and a peak buddy combo. It's gonna work out for them perfectly because they find 2 kills already. Now with another flash and the recon bow coming out, they're gonna find all the information they need in the world.
Scargard and Havan picking up revenge onto Wimp and Psy, 2-for-2 trade on both sides. But it does look like it's going pretty well, at least for the side of Godel. XTZ trying desperately to hang on to their advantage. Deathmaker's gonna pick up that kill onto Rexy. It's looking a lot better for Godlike Esports as they make their way onto the B side. They want this spot. Deathmaker turns around, picks up a beautiful kill onto Harsh. 6 HP, that's all he has. He doesn't have a dash to work with. What brilliant predictions from Deathmaker. Staying true to his name, Deathmaker. He is going to be a huge part of that success. Scoreline even, and that was a great round for Godlike Esports. Quick look here at the instant replay. But DM just turning around, you know, not able to get that kill. Does do a little bit of damage, picks up Harsh, and just spraying through, hoping for the best. That was insane.
Yeah, like the reactions from Deathmaker there. The first kill itself, the Ghost versus the Spectre in such a close range, able to get the instantaneous headshot. That's insane. But then the quick flick towards his back on B-Link, on A-Link. Deathmaker just pulling out all the shots to get Godlike this thrifty, and already now the eco going in the favor of Godlike Esports as XTZ forced on to that pistol, to their pistols as they have to pick up the eco. Now Godlike, they're trying to push their advantage, taking C-Long control very easily, and XTZ recognizing that they don't have the guns to their advantage, willingly giving up sight, trying to play for the retake. But Rexy going on the flank, he gets shut down, the CT angle gets shut down. Godlike holding down C-side, refusing for any hope for XTZ.
The firepower on the side of Godlike Esports
enemy
definitely
remaining.
a lot stronger. That win was something that they needed. Deathmaker does it once again, this time with a triple. And Blackhawk is the last man standing, just waiting for the right time. He's gonna spot out Deathmaker. Blackhawk's timing is just absolutely crazy in this map. Just hopping across, picking up that Vandal. It's gonna be a 1v4 situation. And I'm not too sure if Godlike is gonna let him live right around the corner. Here comes Scarguard. Blackhawk comes out on top. He is going crazy. 2 kills. He's gonna pick up both. But Godlike Esports, they will get that 1-round lead over XTZ.
Blackhawk on a roll. He's not missing a single one of his shots today. Doing really well to pick up 2 kills towards the back end of that round, as well as get a gun for himself. Will mean that now the rest of his team can focus on getting the operator through for Hush as you see it coming and try to pull off this round. I do want to see the rest of the team pick it up a little bit more though, because you can see for Godlike Esports, they're not going to be as upset about those 2 kills since they didn't really have to invest heavily into that last round. Their eco is still very much in the advantage and they're going to use that to pick up the rifles once again, go for the plays. Now Sai, with a very aggressive, really nice push onto A-Long, getting so much information for his team, waiting in the shadows. He's gonna find the Heaven coming through from the shadows. The flash is coming through, but the counter flash from Scarguard perfectly timed. It's DM and Scarguard to pick up the counter kills and open up the floodgates as they move into A-side.
What a play there. Godlike Esports, they're onto A site, and it does look like Shivy will be securing that plant. Deathmaker watching from A short. There is the owl drone just to get a bit more info. 3 defenders left. Harsh, he does have the op in hand. And let's see if he's going to be able to utilize that to its fullest potential. Does look a little bit tough. And we do see Harsh backing away. XTZ Esports might just give this one over to Godlike in hopes to save their guns. They did make a huge investment. The economy is not exactly on their side entirely. But Godlike Esports with a very nice push. It all began with finding 2 kills on long. They pushed very nicely. Post-plant positions made it very difficult for XTZ Esports to want to take that challenge. And that is going to be the 9th point for Godlike Esports.
Yeah, the setup for XTZ, I feel like it's getting a little predictable to Godlike Esports because we've seen that A-Long approach from Sai and Wimp a couple of times, and despite Heaven ending up being the sacrifice, the fact that in that moment, in that situation, Godlike have more numbers in that A-lobby area, and the flash coming through on time for Scarguard, when they're able to easily take that A-Long control. When you're going for the aggressive push, you need to try and maintain that position as long as possible, even if a fast rush comes into you, because the entire idea of that is to try and allow your team more agency on the other side of the map. If you end up falling down early, it allows for a much easier push the way Godlike are able to do so. Now once again, the ultimate's ready for both of the Phoenix. Scarguard starting us off with the first kill going into the C-Long. The counter run it back though just ends up taking Scarguard's clone, finds a bit of damage onto Hush, and Sai through the smoke, he'll find another, but now Shivy keeps it on. He's pushed in, he's found a couple. Hush taken down, but Wimp coming up on top. It's carnage all around, but at the end of it all, it's Godlike with the advantage. Now going for the rotate onto it.
As you mentioned, Wimp Last man standing, Scargod and Havan making a very intelligent decision to go for the rotation after that huge massacre on the C site, just to be safe. Havan secures the plant. Let's go for a little bit of a teleport, anticipating that we might be up there in heaven. And it's just a matter of time. Now Wimp, he has arrived and he is going to push right onto A site. Havan and Scargod just taking cover in long. Let's see how this is going to pan out. Does look like Wimp is going very aggressive, and Scargod's gonna win that duel. And that is double digits on the scoreboard for Godlike Esports, ladies and gentlemen. And this is the thing. After the side swap, we can see that Godlike has taken this opportunity to use the side of attack to kind of set the pace. And it's working brilliantly. Every round they go for a different site, they look for different opportunities, and they always have rotations in their mind. You know, even with 4 members down on the side of XTZ, Havan and Scargod made the decision to go from C site to A site for a safe plant. And playing it safe is always going to be a much better option. Scargod there with 20 kills. This is his game, most definitely showing up, and now he's going to make that 21, picking up the first kill onto Psy. Now if XTZ wants a fighting chance, they don't have the best buys. We do see a Stinger and a couple of Spectres, but let's see what they can make out of it. Shivy's going to find one Deathmaker as well, and it doesn't look too bright for XTZ right now. Oh,
Blackhawk though, he doesn't miss. Even with that nerf stinger, able to pick up the kill. And now Rexy moving in aggressively. He'll find another 2v3, but the information in the favor of XTZ, but not for long. It's that opposition, a Cypher in White Horse, picking up the kill onto Rexy and leaving Blackhawk in a very dicey 1v3 situation. With that long post plant through, the post plant positions are perfect for a Godlike Esports. They've left that Omen on site to hold it down in case there comes through a flank, and left 2 members on that C-long area, meaning that they're covered in case of any angle. And for Blackhawk, almost an impossible situation. This might be the moment to go for a save, but I think he is going to go for the heroic, so let's see how that pans out. Blackhawk now moving through the smoke. The smoke should go down in just about a second here. Meaning he will get revealed. It's Havan with that off angle, able to take him down, and 11-7 for Godlike Esports. I think the key difference between both of these teams ends up lying in the way they look forward to the execution of the attacking side. For XTZ Esports, we saw a lot of spreading out, trying to find the duels, win those duels, and then convert those advantages into a round. For Godlike, they've done that. They did that this round, trying to spread themselves out, but that's not the only play in their strategy. They've gone for very fast rushes using their ultimates. They've gone also for just fast moves, trying to take A-long control with their utility available. And this sort of unpredictability in attack is really what is giving them such a huge advantage. Now you can see Sai himself trying to bring up a little bit of that unpredictability. He picks up first blood, sets XTZ off on the right path.
Psy does have one of these moments where he is able to be a little or so unpredictable, catching the enemies off guard, finding an opportunity for his team this way. Now, XTZ Esports struggling here a little bit on the side of defense. 1 member down for God L. What will they do in this situation? Shivy does find a return kill, and this is the thing about Godlike Esports. They find a kill on A site, and they understand that the defenders will rotate, so therefore they're going to pull it back and probably go for a different site. Still assessing the situation, 40 seconds on the timer. There's still quite a bit to play with. C site is completely empty, but it seems like God L, they're just waiting for the right time to continue to push onto A site. They're playing the mind games. They could have gone for the rotation, but no, they're gonna stay there and wait for XTZ to think that they have left the area. And right now they're gonna make the magic happen as Whitehorse takes out Harsh, drops the neural theft. He's gonna get that information. Havan securing the plant. It's a 4v3 situation. Whip up in heaven, and he's gotta be careful. Shivy going for that reload just to be extra ready. You gotta have those bullets in the gun, or you're not gonna be able to do anything at all.
Standing ahead.
Playing this one slow. XTZ, Wimp. Looking for a shot onto Shivy there on long. He does pick it up. And Rexy's gonna find a double. The last man standing is gonna be Scargod. That's one, that's two! Scargod with the clutch with 10 HP left. Securing match point for Godlike Esports. What was that, Scargod? Spectacular play. Scargod's on fire. Literally, I mean, he's on that Phoenix.
Yeah, Scargod having a banger of a game today. That upward flick was just insane. Finding the first kill and then literally looking up to find the second, get match point in a clutch for Godlike Esports. The tempo is so far in their favor now. It is coming down to really where you want to be able to, for me, you know, just find that advantage. And you can see Godlike again, they spread themselves out. They're able to push forward. And XTZ, they're not finding the answers. Even though the unpredictability there, the fact that they're not as confident in their role is really coming through. But Blackhawk and Rexy, they're trying to fight back. They've dropped that spike carrier, and those skills are going to be so huge. Because now Rexy able to take C lobby, holding it down. He's able to find another. XTZ with their backs against the wall. They will not give up. Instead, they fight back harder.
XTZ with the bounce back, being able to take out that spike carrier early, allows them to push for this advantage. Now we do see everyone's just crowding around that spike. Shivy, he's gonna get caught off guard. Beautiful curveball coming in from Sai, and with a headshot to follow. Now Deathmaker with the Blade Storm. He might just be protecting himself. He does have a Vandal. Let's see what Deathmaker is made of. He might just go for the challenge. All abilities are up. There's a lot to work with. But a 1v5 situation is still going to be a little tough. 30 seconds left on the clock. Deathmaker sets foot onto C side. Looking down long. He's going to spot one out. Tags him with a dagger. And he knows that he is going to be in bush. Deathmaker. Almost 15 seconds left. He's gonna pick up Blackhawk, and Sai from Garage returns the kill. XTZ with the 8th point.
Yeah, a really nice round picked up for XTZ Esports. As I was trying to say, right, for me, the confidence factor that comes into their style of play, it becomes so integral because you could see even in the round before this, where they leave that operator on Hush to try and hold down east side. When he misses that first shot, it does play into the mines. It becomes much easier for the push for Godlike Esports. But in this round, it's the exact opposite. The fact that they go for a double peek down at C long and pick up 2 kills as a result, that reward coming so strong for them because they get that spike. They're able to smoke out the C lobby entrance and hold down the spike really well to pull back the round in their favor. Now, for both of these teams, it's all about trying to find this next round because despite Godlike having won a couple of rounds in the past, with most rounds going down to the wire, most agents dying out, the eco snowball hasn't really happened for Godlike yet. So if XTZ are able to pick up another round here, it will force Godlike into a bad eco situation, and XTZ can use that as that push to try and make a comeback happen here. You can see once again, spreading themselves out. It is a very interesting setup for XTZ, leaving that Cypher utility down in mid and garage, relying on Blackhawk's insane form so far to hold down C-side without any utility.
XTZ can't afford a slip up. If they want to take this into overtime, they've got to get 4 rounds consecutively, and that is going to be a tough feat because you can't make a single mistake. Godlike Esports, they're in a position that they absolutely love with match point that they can find in the headshot onto Sai. Now it gets onto sight, 29 HP. Going for their reload. Harsh picks up Scargod. XTZ whip takes out Havan. And Whitehorse is gonna find a double. It's a 2v2 situation. They've got to retrieve the spike. Whitehorse spots a whim. Make that a triple. Last man setting is gonna be Harsh. A 4K to end it all. Whitehorse closes the game for his team. The first point in this best of 3 is gonna go over to Godlike Esports.
A really nice map 1 win for Godlike Esports. They shined together as a team, but one of the key players to look at was Scargod, playing that Phoenix role to perfection, not giving a moment's breath to the opposition operator in Hush, and also playing, making sure to pull off the entry really well. The utilization from him, the fact that he was continuously finding multi-kills in clutch situations. As you said, Scargod literally on fire today on that Phoenix role. So Godlike, they're in heavy control, but XTZ, they put up a really good fight, so I'm excited how good they're going to be going into the second map, which is their own.
All right, we're going to talk a little bit more about what went down in map number 1 on Haven between Godlike Esports and XTZ Esports by moving into the LG Ultragear match highlights. And what is really cool is that we're going to analyze the scoreboard a little bit and talk about the playstyle, the approach of these players from both teams. Now, ScarGod had the most number of kills, and that was 23 kills. But at the top of the board with the highest average combat score is going to be Deathmaker. And we know that Deathmaker is a very aggressive player. What I do think, at least from the side of God L, Deathmaker and ScarGod, they make a very good duo when it comes to the aggression of Godlike. So, to have the Jet and the Phoenix working together to make the plays with the support of Whitehorse, Havan, and Shivy using their utility, it does make for a great lineup coming out from the side of Godlike Esports. Now, we're going to shift our attention a little bit more over to XTZ Esports. Blackhawk stole the show. There were many rounds where a lot of the credit, you got to give it to him. Clutch situations, multiple takedowns, just playing it smart. Coming out on top of gun duels that we least expect, just surviving with a tick of health. You have to give props to him. Now, Rexy is going to be next on that scoreline, at least for the side of XTZ Esports. Rexy, he had some great moments as well. And I think, at least for the last 3 to 4 months watching Rexy, he has become a player that is very reliable, at least for the teams that he plays for. So that is a great bit of consistency to see. Overall, I did feel that it was a very good match. It was a good fight. Both compositions were the same. It was just that God L was a lot more consistent and their approach was just a tad bit better this strategy over XTZ. What are your afterthoughts, CA?
I think, as you said, Blackhawk stealing the show on XTZ, but for me, in that team, I noticed Sai has 6 first bloods. On that Phoenix role, that's absolutely phenomenal. But what I was really missing from them is translation of that first bloods into tangible advantages, right? For example, there's a lot of rounds where Sai was able to get Suez control or long control by getting the first blood, but there's no real coordination within the team to try and push that first blood into more real estate, to try and get that A lobby control, deny that push from Godlike altogether. Inside, Godlike, who are much more coordinated in their approach, were able to translate despite going down in those first bloods, push forward and take down Sai and open up A site. When you're on the attacker's side, that proactive approach just means a whole lot to how the entire round is going to go out, because despite you being a man down, if you're calling the shots, if you're saying, hey, we as a 3-man squad or a 4-man squad are going to make the move here, in that isolated situation, you will have that advantage. So Godlike, their team play and coordination looking much, much better. But we do expect that from them on Haven. It's one of their strongest maps. DM especially. As you saw, he was the MVP. So going on to the next map, I'm excited to see what stops XTZ can pull out to stay alive in the tournament, because this is the lower bracket semifinals. So it's now or never, do or die for XTZ.
All right, well said there, CA. Congratulations to Godlike Esports once again for taking map number 1 for themselves. And we are going to prepare for map number 2 in this best of 3 between XTZ and God L. So before we go for that short break, remember, play like the pros with 144Hz, 1 MS gaming monitors from LG Ultragear. And you can also upgrade your gaming gear with the latest esports offerings from HyperX. Both links are in the description. Check that out. And if you're enjoying the action, remember to like and subscribe. Hit that bell icon so you get notifications whenever we are live. So grab a drink, grab a snack, and we'll be back very shortly with map number 2 between Godlike Esports and XTZ Esports. Stick around. affect the opponent. If he's gonna spot a Hellranger, that's gonna be one last man standing. That's SK Rossi tapping onto the spike and they started lightning fast. Thank God. Along with Hellranger, definitely finds one. Is that gonna be two? He finds two. 34 HP. That's one. Waiting for the right time. That's one. Will he find the 29 yard? They're both gonna pick up the kill. That's extremely low. Shivy with the spray. Finding a double kill. Shivy with a triple. Your champion, definitely worthy of the journey.
Where is everyone hiding?
I'll handle this. I'll fight everybody.
But ladies and gentlemen, even with a man advantage, it seems that the Blackhawk is getting burned to a crisp. He's not gonna be able to hit the shots. As goes from the side as he gets that kill down under him. It's gonna be quite difficult with the crossfire being set up, but it's gonna be whipping him.
Has 30 seconds left, which he can go.
What is gonna be hit and chiming in? 1, 2, 3, Jones is able to come out on top and Sai, he gets the corner. Sai, he's able to run, he gets the tech shot, he's and Sai with the 4K! Absolutely insane clutch coming out from the Phoenix.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the LG Ultragear TEC Invitational 2, powered by HyperX, and we have Booyah as our broadcast partner. We're back with map number 2 between Godlike Esports and XTZ Esports. This time on the panel, joining me is going to be Aggressive, caster and analyst. Now, Aggressive, how are you feeling about today, and what do you think we can expect in map number 2?
after such an explosive performance on the map of Haven, I don't know what to expect anymore because Godlike, they nearly edged it out because you could see when the first half ended that both of the teams were just so even, but at the very end of it, DM, Scargod, they just popped the hell off, popping heads constantly. And you have to give it to Blackhawk for being that Sentinel player, being so consistent and getting so many clutches out for his team. And now on the map of Bind itself, I'm going to be looking at Blackhawk quite a lot because his clutches, especially on the map of Bind and the Cypher setups that could be coming on through, anything could be happening out this time around. But still, let us see what he does go for. And we see Blackhawk, he's actually opting to go in for the raise. And Rexy, he's the one playing the Cypher.
You know, we were talking about this, about how XTZ, their players aren't limited to just one agent. We're going to see a lot of a switch up. And Haven's going to take out the Sky for the side of God L. Now that's going to be really cool. I do feel that it's going to be a very unpredictable match, especially. But Blackhawk from a Sentinel to a duelist on that raise. There's a lot of interesting things here, but I think that's the beauty of this matchup, and that is why it's so exciting. Because God L, you know, they have a structure and they play to that structure. Now with the inclusion of Haven, things have become a little bit different. And as for XTZ, you can see that the way they function is also very unique in itself. Players just switching up their picks. And, you know, I think they want to remain unpredictable. So it's really cool to see these players. They got the game faces on. It seems like Deathmaker is really happy and excited to start this. But we're going to go right into the match less than 10 seconds before the barrier phase lifts. And we can begin with round number 1. It's going to be the pistol round. And look at that lineup there, aggressive.
It's all but ready, ladies and gentlemen. But still, I wanted to add one more thing. Hyvan picking Sky, and C is not here. Angry CA noises, everyone. That is gonna happen. This is a Sky game coming up from the side of Godlike, but you're not gonna be noticing it, but it is gonna be Rexy being the first one to take charge and take out Shivy. Shivy finds the bullet in that situation, but it's gonna be Rexy with the right click. He takes his second. He's looking for his third. He's gonna be able to find it. Blackhawk answers back on the Scargod as well, and already 4 members are down from the side of Godlike, and this has gotta be hurting a lot, ladies and gentlemen. It's gonna be Whitehorse trying to bust this round out, goes in for the shots, but it's not gonna be able to connect. Good dodges, good movement coming out from the side of Blackhawk, and it's gonna be Rexy with that ghost in hand to take the head of Whitehorse clean off, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is gonna be the first round for the side of the defenders. But at the same time, Shimmy, he's gonna be the one going in for this raise. It seems as though both of the Sova / Sentinel players have switched over to the raises this time around.
Indeed, you know, and I do feel that there's going to be a lot to talk about, a lot of new things that we're going to see coming out from both sides at least. But here on the instant replay, a brilliant beginning for XTZ Esports walking into map 2, especially after the fact that map 1 went over to the side of Godlike Esports. So XTZ, they've got a lot of making up to do if they want to make it into map number 3, stay in the running here of this best of 3. Now, Rexy, he's going to be on that Cypher. Blackhawk here with that raise. Psy on the Jet, something that he is comfortable with. I'm excited to see what Wimp's going to pull out on that Sova. And Harsh, you know, initially Harsh was a Sentinel controller player. In map 1, he was on a duelist. Right now, he's going to go back to his roots. Rexy picking up the first kill once again onto Deathmaker. XTZ looking to push their lead. And on the side of God L, Whitehorse on that Sentinel. Scargod, we know he pulls out that Brimstone, but Shivy on that race is going to be cool as he finds a kill onto Psy. Harsh with a return. 4v3 situation. Godlike, not exactly healthy as Scargod and Whitehorse are suffering. Harsh is going to end it all on that Killjoy. 19 HP for Scargod. Harsh fights the triple onto him. And Haven is the last man standing on this Sky as he makes his way through showers. And that is going to be an angry Rexy. Taking him out. 2 points for XTZ Esports. A little bit reminiscent of map number 1, but hey, anything can go either way.
And of course, we'll see Quran coming out from the side of the attackers, so no harm, no foul, moving on forward. And now this is gonna be the first buy round, and this is where the real momentum and the real pace of the fights are going to start. Especially now that Sai is actually putting on this operator instead of playing a bonus round with his team. He has massive firepower in his hands, and he needs to make this operator work, because if he does not, then this operator is just going to be a free picking for the side of the side of the attackers moving on forward. But it seems as though they understand that, hey, Sai, he could be going in for that operator buy, so they're playing it smart and not going anywhere near the side of A. And now it is gonna be the Owl Drone being able to spot out Shivy, and he needs to try and back off. Nades are gonna be coming out as well to deter any sort of a fast push coming down from the side of Hookah because of the footsteps being present. But Wimp, he still goes aggressive and catches Shivy off guard. Sai gets one on the Hyvan as well as he's lurking down from the side of Shower. Hirsch comes in from the back end, gets a kill down on Stargon, being a small criminal. Hirsch gets another one down on the Deathmaker. He's looking for one on the White Horse, and White Horse's headshots reigns supreme. But Wimp's gonna be there to get the refrag nonetheless, taking us to a 3-0 scoreline, and the first buy round of the side of Godlike. Not really being as successful as I hoped for, because it seems as though Oppo, they were little bit indecisive in how they wanted to approach the fight.
Indeed, you know, and when you look at the lineup of Godlike Esports, they have the Killjoy, Brimstone, and Sky, and these heroes are a little bit more, you know, I would say they work a lot better on the side of defense. But, you know, Godlike Esports, I'm going to wait for them to get creative, wait for them to find their footing. XTZ, however, they know their power, they know how to hold it down, at least here on Bind. And looking at the type of map that it is, defenders do have an easier time as compared to the attack, because it's really tough to create those rotations. The map is not exactly as huge as Haven, which we saw in map number 1. You've got to utilize those teleporters and get very creative on this particular stage. Now that's going to be harsh. Finding a pretty kill onto Shivy. It's not good for Godlike Esports. It is a little bit of a half buy. I would say more of an eco. So XTZ Esports, they wouldn't want to lose out on this one.
That has gotta hurt quite a lot. Shivy, he wanted to do the jump down and get on top of the boxes, so he made like no noise when Hirsch. He had the game sense. He knew what he had to do. Just gets a clean headshot straight through that smoke. So crispy and so clean. And now it is going to be Godlike going in for an aggressive dash in, and it's going to be Deathmaker being able to find the first one straight onto the head of Hirsch. But White Horse, oh, that Deagle shot, so crispy, takes the head of Wim clean off his shoulders, and now it's going to be a 3 versus 3 retake situation coming on through. And Hyvan, he's not looking healthy whatsoever. It is going to be White Horse going to check out the low angle and see what he can find. But Hyvan, he's playing it smart. He's playing for the lurk. Nades are going to be coming in and out. Blackhawk clears out the left side angle, knows that no one is gonna be there, and needs to back off, because this one satchel is enough to kill him. But Deathmaker, he's gonna be having his own vengeance coming off. Now it's gonna be 2 versus 2 on the map, making it a 2 versus 1, because Deathmaker, he's gonna be the one to try and clutch this one out, or try and die out to the hands of Rexy. He's playing it aggressively, but Deathmaker, he does find it, and Blackhawk's gonna be there straight on the back end, and there's more than enough time to go in for the defuse. A beautiful defensive retake coming out from the side of the defenders, ladies and gentlemen. That double peek was just so clean and just so good.
Very well played at the end there. It was a 2v1 situation, and even though Rexy went down, Blackhawk was right there to return the kill. But down to this 3v3, Deathmaker taken outside, Blackhawk finding a kill of his own, and I do believe Rexy picks up the next one, then to be able to collect themselves, communicate, and take down Deathmaker at this last point. It is really beneficial for XTZ Esports. Now, these rounds aren't close. Sorry, these rounds are very close. And, you know, when you're looking at these wins that XTZ is they're taking, Godlike Esports, they do take out a significant chunk of members out of the side of defense. So let's see how this is going to pan out. At least looking at the economy of both sides, XTZ, they're doing very well, and as for Godlike, they're picking up the pieces, but now with the full buys, they're going to be able to make something happen. Bladestorm very much ready for Deathmaker, but at least on the side of defense, they do have from the Shadows and the Bladestorm, so a bit more to work with. Sai holding it down at Showers with the operator, and this is going to be Shivy taking a step into Hookah, but Sai's going to come out on top of that op battle and takes out Deathmaker. What a great way to watch Sai on this op. I did feel he was a little lacking in map number 1 despite the amount of first bloods and opportunities, but I do hope that Sai can definitely pick up where he's left off. Well, at least on Bind, Sai is known to be pretty flashy.
Especially when he has this operator in his hand, he is just a force to be reckoned with, and he's getting so much value out of that operator, no matter what happens. But now it's gonna be Chevy going in for an aggressive site control down onto the side of B. He's looking to get a kill down onto her. She's watching down that CT angle to catch any sort of rotation, but he looks away at the very last second, and that's gonna be costing him. It's gonna be Wim getting the first initial kill down onto White Horse, straight to the smoke as the smokes were going on down. The Molly's gonna be going onto the side of CT to delay the push even further, but it's gonna be Chevy chiming in, getting the first initial kill down on the Wimp, taking him out instantly. Hyvon chimes in with his own, and it's gonna be 3 versus 3 on the map with the ultimate getting popped from the side of the attackers. Fargon, he does one on the head of Rixie, and he's gonna be able to decapitate him in a matter of seconds. And now Chevy, he pulls out the showstopper, wasting even more time. He doesn't even need to go in for a kill. The defenders are gonna be quaking in their boots because of that one showstopper being present, and now it's do or die. They need to either go in for a play or try and go in for a save. It's gonna be Black Hawk being able to get 1 kill down onto his twin sister, but Hyvon's gonna be there to clean it all up, and Hirsch to go in for that save because he does have full shields and also his gun available. So a really good save coming out from them, and a really good attacking round with the operator getting picked up by Hirsch as well. A beautiful showing of understanding of the map and good communication from all of their team members. They were able to save out on their operator, and now they can go in for full buys without having to invest into another operator themselves.
Quick look here at the instant replay. Godlike Esports holding it down. Very nice post-plant positions. 2 onto the site, 1 in hookah. They're playing with the range that they have, and they're making sure that 2 members are looking at 1 target just to guarantee that kill. So Godlike Esports, great attack onto the B side. But let's see how they're going to change that up. We do recognize that Chivy here and Deathmaker lurking in hookah. Chivy going for a very aggressive play, and he's gonna satchel himself down. Harsh takes him out. That's gonna be a double for Harsh. Very nicely done. Deathmaker does find a kill before he goes down, but it's a 4v3, 1-man disadvantage for Godlike Esports. They have time to work with, and the spike on Scargod. They're gonna gun for this B side, and I'm not sure if it is the right call. They could potentially try to pull this back and go for the rotation. Scargod looking for the challenge. Hayvon's gonna take out Rexy. It's a 3v3. Hayvon's not too healthy, however, but White Horse, he does have that lockdown. Now with Black Hawk going down, Harsh and Sai, it's up to them to try to hold down the fort. But these attackers, they mean war. They want to come back, and they're not too happy with how this match initially started. Scargod's gonna find Harsh, and this is Godlike Esports finding their momentum, finding their play style, and it seems like B-side is their lucky charm.
It is gonna be Sai. I thought he was gonna be hoping to go in for a save, but he wants to go in for the try. But when you go in for a try against in a 1 versus 3, whenever you know for a fact that your opponents know your last known location, the crossfires are gonna be set up, and the kills are gonna be coming on through. And it is gonna be Godlike after the 4 consecutive round loss, slowly bringing it back and doing the damage to the eco of the side of the defenders. But Sai, he is gonna be able to buy the operator nonetheless, and this is a really smart play coming out from Sai. Yes, you can go in for a save with that operator, but you're gonna be the one with a lot of money to work with in the following round. Yes, but at the same time, you're gonna be losing out on the fact that, hey, I'm not gonna be able to buy with my team if I lose out in the forward consecutive round, and that is going to be hurting a lot of the momentum and a lot of the eco snowball effect that they had previously. It's always important that you always keep stable eco with your team members, because then you can go in for the buys together and you can have the same amount of firepower and you can all be on the same page. Sai playing that one very smartly, going in for the try instead of the save, or trying to hold on to that operator. But now, this time it is gonna be Sai spotting on the shoulder of Hyvon. Hyvon's going in for the peek, but he does not get the headshot. But there's gonna be Shivy on the back end, being able to get a kill on the Wimp and Set. And the B side seems quiet and mighty open, but Hirsch, he's playing the trigger discipline plays, and he's gonna be able to find 2 once again. Shivy not having a good time going down onto this B side because of Hirsch. Hirsch, he comes in with his 3rd. He's looking for his 4th. Deathmaker, he doesn't know what's up. The paranoia hits him beautifully in the face, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is why Hirsch is an absolute god when it comes to holding down that B side. On his Cypher, even on his Omen.
I think it's really impressive to see Harsh on this Omen. It is very reminiscent as well, and it seems like he's never forgotten how to play this agent to its maximum capabilities. Now with 11 kills, he is right at the top of the board for his team. And following up, it is going to be Rexy. Sai did have a very pretty kill in the beginning as well in showers, playing around with that Sky. But this is Harsh there, picking up a beautiful double, connecting 2 headshots, waiting. He heard the gunshots from Hookah and found that 3rd kill onto Scargod. XTZ, what they're doing is exactly correct, and they gotta keep this up just to, if they want to take map number 2, because, you know, it's a best of 3, and first team to 2 maps, they are gonna take the win. Now, as for the side of God L, looking and feeling their opponents, there still is quite a number of rounds, at least 5, before we go into the second half. They can look to try and make the scoreline a little bit more even, try to get an advantage, but they would have to pull out all the strategy that they have in store, because XTZ is not a team that you can just push very quickly and think that they're not going to realize what you're doing. When it comes to defense here, you know, they're analyzing a situation. You have people like Harsh that holds it down, very composed, you know, so they've got to try and kind of bait out, play the mind games against XTZ. So, you know, Deathmaker there with 4 kills, and everyone else on the team with 3. A little bit of a struggle, but hey, time will tell, and it will show the outcome of this matchup. 4 ultimates ready for the side of defense, and 2 for the side of attack.
Primary reason why I do believe that they're having such a hard time going in for a lot of these executions is because Hyvan is actually the person opting to go in for these lurks. And once again, you see Hyvan, he's on his lonesome down onto this A side. And yes, all the members of the side of the attackers are going to be on the B end, and they're going to be pushing on down. But Hyvan's not even getting a lot of information to work with, and without any information, they're rushing down into the side, and this is going to be hurting them quite a lot. And it's going to be Sai with the collateral kill with that operator. He takes down 2, 1 on the shitty, 1 on the Scar God. And ladies and gentlemen, that's already gonna be a 2 versus 5 situation. Sai gets his 3rd and Blackhawk gets his 2nd. A beautiful showing of skill and a flawless round of move for the side of the defenders. Ladies and gentlemen, XTZ, they're angry for what happened in the very first map, but still, at the very end of it all, I do believe that the primary flaw in a lot of these strategies is because Hyvan is not really the person going in with a lot of the guiding lights and just trying to force the engagements onto the side of the defenders to make them look away, to make them think twice before holding such aggressive angles. And XTZ, they're just exploiting the fact that the Sky is not really getting a lot of value on the map and flying.
Indeed, XTZ looking so strong here on the side of defense side, going for an attempt to pick up a kill, dashes away to safety, and he's gonna pull it back into elbow. Wait for the right time. Wimp with Hunter's Fury, he's gonna pick up White Horse and does a whole lot of damage down below. Blackhawk takes out Deathmaker. And Harsh is gonna chime in as well. Now only Hyvan and Scargod are left alive. Scargod pushed into the corner. Hyvan's gonna find one, so does Scargod. It's a 2v3 situation. It was a 2v5, but let's see what they're made of. Harsh is gonna find Scargod, and Hyvan's the last man standing. Blackhawk to wrap that up. XTZ, you can see their confidence just overflowing. The momentum is high on the side of defense. You can see it on their faces. Still very much aware that there is the second half, because Godlike can move into defense and things can change. So XTZ looking to rake up as many rounds as they can on what I do think is their stronger side.
That it's just incredible, to say the very least, of how strong the defensive hold is down on this B side. Hirsch is playing beautiful off angles. His teammates are in position from the side of elbow, and as soon as they hear a little bit of noise, or if Shivi just throws down a flashback, we see an army making their way down over to this B side. And already, just as I'm talking, Blackhawk in this race is just doing so much damage. He's gonna be able to take down Deathmaker at this point, and it's incredible to me, to say the very least. He did get traded out though in the very end of it all, but Rexy, he's in a beautiful position to go in for the peak. And it's gonna be Hirsch being able to set him up with the beautiful paranoia of his own accord. But Sai, he needs to be careful. Hyvan, he's lurking straight past the meatballs, but he doesn't know what's up. Sai, he gets taken out instantly. His head gets taken off his shoulders, and Hyvan, he's gonna be able to get an operator for himself and hold down from the side of Shower. He's not scoping in on the operator just yet. It needs to be careful because Hirsch, he's looking for the peak. He spots out the shoulder. He knows exactly where he's gonna be at, but Hirsch, he's second guessing himself. He's not gonna go in for the swing. He knows for a fact that the operator is in the hands of the side of the attackers, and he needs to be playing it carefully. Hyvan playing it safe, going in the back end corner. Shot darts are gonna be raining on in. Spots out the cloak, but the cloak is not a hitbox. Hyvan, he's not gonna be able to hit that shot straight through the box. And still, the defenders are going to be rushing on down to go in for this retake. No utility to work with, but a little bit of gunpowder instead. And that is going to be Scargon being able to find one. But Rexy and Hurst from the sideline late time on in to get the kills. It's going to be Scargon going in for the trade. There's not really a lot of time, but Scargon, he's going to be there to clutch this one out. A beautiful clutch from the Brimstone himself. He's an old dog, but he's an old dog with a lot of experience, that is for sure.
What a round! What a round! I did. Wow. Because, you know, looking at the post-plant position, right, when you're looking at the perspective of Godlike, they had 2 in lamps and 1 in showers. And Hyvan there, he got blocked off by a dark cover placed by Harsh. So, you know, he was forced to push with the Sheriff. He was mowed down by who I do believe was the Sova, and that was Wimp. The post plant was a little bit sketchy to me, but Scargon coming in, just tapping away on that ghost and just saving that round for Godlike Esports. You know, we always talk about Magic number 4, and if Godlike can do it at least in the first half, they can definitely look for a better time in the second. But Scargon doing that was just huge. And it seems like that confidence from map 1 has translated over. And we also made the point that XTZ wasn't quite as coordinated in map number 1, but definitely here on map 2, they are making up for that. So, you know, props to them. 7-3, still a huge lead that XTZ has. And I'm very excited to see how this goes. But Harsh with 14 kills, Rexy with 10. They're standing strong, at least for the controller and the sentinel of the team.
When both of the backbones of your team are just this potent and Hirsch, I swear to God, I have to state that the amount of times that Godlike have tried to go down onto this B side, but Hirsch is like, no, you're not taking your angles properly. I'm gonna be going right under your noses, and I'm gonna be getting a lot of these kills. He is just so consistent in staying down on that B side, but now it is gonna be the side of Godlike trying to get this down to a bare minimum of a 7-5 to have a fighting chance moving on forward into their own defense around. The flashes are gonna be coming on through, but Sai, he's playing it aggressively. He dodges out a lot of these flashes and he's gonna be able to push him forward, but finally some pressure is gonna be put on by all of the members on the side of the defenders. It's gonna be Sai being able to get one, and from the sideline it's gonna be Wim getting a double. Rexy holding down the triple stack onto the side of B, just so potent. They're gonna be able to clean up the house with Sai getting the kill on the lurker, no, Hyvan. And once again, Oppo, Hyvan, he's playing for information, he's playing for the fakes down onto this east side, but it's not really gonna be working out because you are the initiator for the team. They need your the side of your teammates need your guiding lights. They need the wolf to get a lot of the information before they execute down onto the side. There is no Sova, and they're constantly going into this B-side drive, and with so many corners to check, XTZ, they're just able to exploit everything coming out from the side of Godlike.
Indeed, you know, they used Hyvan as the lurker, but it didn't quite work out in their favor. XTZ is just reading into the movements of God L so well. But here comes the showstopper. Shivy's gonna miss that shot, but Deathmaker's there to make up for lost time as he finds 2 kills. One onto Harsh, another onto Wimp. White Horse coming in to take out Rexy. This is the last round before the swap, and it seems like Godlike Esports are desperate to find Magic number 4. Triple kill for Deathmaker as he finds the headshot onto Sai, and the last man standing is gonna be Black Hawk. Hyvan coming in sneaky from elbow. Sneaking that kill. And that is the end of the first half. A very nice pickup from Godlike. This time, they didn't play it slow. They played it very quick and completely caught XTZ off guard, and maybe that was something that they needed to do from the beginning, but hey, it has happened. 8 points for the side of XTZ and 4 for Godlike. We're going to move into the second half. XTZ will be on the side of attack and God L on the side of defense.
What just happened in that round? DM, is your wrist okay, my man? Because that flick was super quick. He got that headshot down on the Hirsch, immediately flicked on a whip, trying to push through from the side of window. And then the kills were coming on through from the side of B-Long, but those shots were so clean. DM just popping the hell off at the very end of it all. As you stated before, to get that magic 8-4 scoreline. The guiding lights are going to be coming on through from the side of Hevando, down onto the B-Long side to gain a little bit of information, but no information can be found just yet. But with the jiggle, it's going to be Shivy being able to find something. Shibby, he needs to be very careful. He may just be fighting off a bit more than he can chew if he's not watching his sidelines, but he's not even fighting as much as he wants. He gets a kill onto his own twin sister. It's going to be a trade for trade. But just as I said, it's going to be Rexy coming in from the side of B-Long to clean his head straight off as he's trying to make a wraparound play onto this A side with the calls coming in from his teammates. But White Horse, he's actually playing it aggressively. He's going in for the lurk play, and he wants to go in for this backstab to try and take this one away from the side of the attackers. But still, B-side control has been established, and it's going to be going down to a 4 versus 3 retake situation.
Harms now securing the plant, and this is going to be Hayvan coming in from defender side spawn. Post-plant positions are looking pretty good there on the side of XTZ Esports, covering site, long, and also watching defender side spawn. But Hookah might just be the only spot that's left open, and Deathmaker's gonna come through with White Horse. That paranoia is gonna connect. 1-for-1 trade, 3v2. Harsh picks up Hayvan, and Deathmaker's the last man alive. Rexy pushing, looking for the kill, and they sandwich Deathmaker and Hookah. Nicely done by XTZ Esports as they achieve their 9th point.
We're pretty sure he had a heart attack nearly when Deathmaker did a turnaround. His head nearly got taken, like, clean off his shoulders, nearly. But Whip was able to dodge out that shot at the very last second. But still, that is going to be the first round in their favor. And this round was super important for the side of Godlike, mainly because you are now giving away the double digits towards the sides of your opponents. And on this 10-4 scoreline, if you're not opting to go in for the force buys, it's going to be really difficult for you to close this one out. And you can already see it is going to be an equal, because the side of Godlike, they do not want to go in for those force buys, especially now that the Stinger has been nerfed heavily moving on forward. But Scargot, he does get dinked in the head a tiny little bit, straight through the wall, takes a little bit of chip damage to work with. But it seems as though Godlike, they're playing it smart, they're playing it slow and systematically. They want to see if they can find something. Rexy, he does spot out Hayvan going in for that wide swing. He's not going to be going anywhere just yet, but Win, he makes an aggressive mad dash towards the side, from the side of A short into the side of the copy itself, and that has got to be hurting Scargon. He's losing map control really badly, and there's a lurking Whip all over the place. He doesn't know where to go or where to look. And now it is going to be the side of the defenders on the back foot. They've lost so many people, but Deathmaker's going to be able to make it a little bit more even, taking outside. Nades are going to be coming on down to try and deny the plan, but the nade was just not accurate enough to deny it completely. A little bit of chip damage onto the shoulder of the Blackhawk. But now, ladies and gentlemen, the defenders, they need to go in for this retake situation very quickly, and they don't have the guns to work with, except for one member pushing on down in from the side of Lambs. They're wanting to take aggressive control, but this double stack is just a little bit too strong. Deathmaker, he does find three on his own accord, but it's going to be Rexy to shut him down from the back end of the van. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be the 10th round on the board for the side of the attackers. But a very beautiful eco round, I have to say, the very least. 3 guns taken away from the side of the attackers. So DM, he's going to be happy about that.
Double digits for XTZ Esports. What a match. And it seems like we're going to go into round 3 of the second half. And I do feel that if Godlike isn't able to find the momentum right here, right now, I think it might just spiral downhill for them. And XTZ Esports can definitely look to take this map for themselves. Now, Godlike, they are playing very aggressive from the side of defense. Not exactly working out for them. But now with the stronger firepower, they should be able to respond accordingly. 5 rifles at least for the side of defense, 3 for attack with 2 Spectres, which they are going to carry over from the round prior. We do see a huge rotation coming in from attacker side spawn. They're going to move over to the B site. 3 defenders, however, are on A. So it does look like XTZ is making the right move here.
Bomb buddy out.
This is a do or die situation for the side of Godlike. It's either go big or go home, because if they lose out on this round, they don't have any eco. They're going to be forcing themselves down onto this 11th round, where XTZ, they have all of the advantages in the world to work with. They have the eco, they have everything, and it's going to be Blackhawk to get the opening kill down on the Deathmaker with a beautiful off angle of his own DM. He's not going to be able to adjust fast enough to the headshot, and it's going to be Blackhawk getting in instead. Rexy from the sideline chimes down on his shimmy, and Michael's going in for the aggressive down on the side of Luca, but he's not going to be able to find the Blackhawk. He gets his second kill, and it's going to be a rotation play coming down from the side of the attackers, ladies and gentlemen. They're making a beeline towards its A side, and it's going to be leaving lonely old Scargot to go down in this 1 versus 5 situation. He does spot on the head of Hirsch, but Hirsch, he's just too quick. He had his ADS straight on head level with the crosshair placement so clean. And that's going to be the 11th round on the board for the side of XTZ. And Oppo, it seems as though XTZ, they're just a driving force that cannot be stopped. And now on this round, Blackhawk, he has a showstopper, and I don't think I need to tell you what happens when a race has her showstopper.
Oh yeah, XTZ Esports stepping up, and it is a huge difference from how the first map panned out to be. God L here just kind of slipping up. But XTZ, they seem very sure. We were talking about coordination. XTZ, they have it. They seem to be using their abilities in unison. And the raw aim, as you mentioned, Rexy here, picking up a headshot on the Deathmaker. They seem to be coming out on top of these duels. Blackhawk finds an 8 kill, and Sai is going to put one right through Whitehorse. 5v2 situation. It is an eco round for Godlike Esports, but XTZ, they're looking very close to achieving that match point.
Really close, and you can already see when it comes to the terms of the money, it's going to be working on Notch. Jimmy's not going to be able to find the headshot with that sheriff, but it's going to be High Bond being able to find one, but the paranoia is going to be reigning in supreme, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be the round, and it's going to be match point as well for the side of XTZ. And Blackhawk, he still has not used his showstopper, so he has it for match point itself. This is gonna be an absolute bloodbath, whichever side that the side of XTZ are wanting to go through at. And if Blackhawk is able to remain this potent on his raise, it's just gonna get even more crazy. And on this round itself, you can already see that XTZ, they're planning to go in for a mad dash down onto this B side. And leaving Blackhawk on his lonesome onto the side of Hookah is actually a very smart play, because with just his own boombox, he can clear out an entirety of a site and get a lot of information of how many people are going to be playing down from the side of Hookah. And with Haibon's guiding light coming on through as well, he knows exactly what's up. The nades are going to be coming on down. A lot of the information is being given away, and now, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a fast push coming on down, moving forward, but it's going to be Haibon on the side. But the ultimate coming in from Blackhawk is just a little bit too much. Jimmy, he's not going to be ready for it. And B-side control has already been established, and going into the post plans is going to be the entirety of XTZ. He has such a beautiful position. He does get 1 kill. He's looking for support. He gets triple. He's looking for the side of Deathmaker, but Deathmaker with this operator, we all know how deadly he can be. He gets a double kill for himself. He's looking for some more, but he's spotting out the head of Blackhawk. But Blackhawk, what is this guy with his off-angle positioning, Oppo? He's playing mind games with the entirety of Godlike. And honestly, Blackhawk, hats off to you, my man. Your brain is just massive, it seems.
Wow, what a match. Let's have a quick look here at the instant replay on how that last round panned out to be. XTZ Esports making a very dominant entrance onto the B side, and Wimp here finding this double, which mounted to the triple, was huge for the team itself, and Blackhawk there to just end it all. What a match. And it was something that I didn't quite expect, solely for the fact of how map 1 turned out to be, but it seems like bind is a very strong point for XTZ Esports. So let's head over into the LG Ultragear match highlights and talk a little bit more about what went down. Now, I have to say that I'm very impressed with how XTZ played this match. There was a lot of coordination on the side of attack and defense. You could see that when something happened, when a bit of information was given out, you could look at the minimap and tell that everyone was just scrambling around, moving around, doing what they had to do. And when you look at the scoreboard, Harsh there with 19 kills, Rexy with 18, and Blackhawk with 16. Now, we did see a lot of moments where these three players were shining and whatnot, but the collective effort and how they held down angles when they were on the side of defense to start with in the first half, that meant the world. The multi-kills, it was just so good the way they held it down. Then on the side of attack, it was so coordinated, something that I wish I did see in Haven, but hey, I'm thankful it happened on Bind. And as for God L, they kind of struggled with the composition, I do feel. There was not a lot of coordination, but hey, you know, it could be just a bad map, a bad day for the side of God L. Nonetheless, very impressed by XTZ, 100%. And aggressive, what are your afterthoughts after this game? Because it was, you know, when you look at the track record of both these teams, I thought it was going to be a little bit more even if XTZ did take the map. I just thought the scoreline would have been closer and not 13 as before.
I mainly do believe that, as you just stated, that the composition coordination was just not really there, especially in the case of Sky. Hyvan, he was most of the time playing on his lonesome, not really being able to use those guiding lights properly. And this is very much important that whenever you're using the guiding lights, whenever you're using the Skybirds, that you make sure you coordinate with your team well enough as they go in for a lot of these aggressive pushes. And in a lot of these situations, Shibi, he actually went in for an aggressive push with his satchels, but his team was nowhere to be found to back him up in a lot of these situations. And this, like, it felt as though there was a massive communication gap coming out from the side of Godlike on the map of Mine, and it was just a communication breakdown in general, because XTZ, they had all the communication in the world. Let's forget about the fact that XTZ won out on a lot of their 1 versus 1 gunfights, even taking out 1 versus 3 pretty much in a lot of these situations. Like, whenever you face an opponent that is playing a lot of these off angles, when they're winning out on a lot of these gunfights, when they're feeling it, you need to be coordinating more together as a team, and Godlike not being able to step up right there, they had a pretty rough time on the map of Bind. But still, ladies and gentlemen, this was only the second map. So soon enough, we're going to be going into the third map, and hopefully Godlike, they're going to be able to bring themselves back and show the form that they had on the map of Haven itself.
Indeed, congratulations once again to XTZ Esports for picking up map number 2. So ladies and gents, you know what that means. We're going to have a map number 3 here to ultimately decide the winner of this matchup. So before we go anywhere, I have a few messages. Remember to like and subscribe. Remember to click that bell icon so you get notification whenever we are live. You don't want to miss out on the action. And remember, play like the pros with a 144Hz 1MS gaming monitor from LG Ultragear. And you can also upgrade your gaming gear with the latest esports offerings from HyperX. Both links are in the description. Don't forget to check them out. And without further ado, we're going to prepare for map number 3, which will be Icebox. It's going to be very unpredictable, so you guys should definitely stick around for that. So stay tuned for map number 3 between Godlike Esports and XTZ Esports. Don't go anywhere.
for joining us.
Where is everyone hiding?
I'll handle this. I'll fight everybody.
Sorry about that, a little bit of a technical difficulty, but hey guys, welcome back to the LG Ultragear TEC Invitational 2, powered by HyperX, and we have Booyah as our broadcast partner. Now things are about to get spicy as we move into map number 3 between Godlike Esports and XTZ Esports. This time on the panel, it'll be CA back again to cast and analyze. So CA, it's been an explosive first 2 maps. Let's head into the map veto screen and have a quick look at which map it will be for map number 3. What are your thoughts after watching map 1 and map 2? And going into map 3, I mean, what have you gathered here?
So I'm expecting like XTZ to really come back with a bang in their own map coming into map 2, but like the key component for Godlike had to be that sky. The fact that XTZ were prepared to take that sky on, it's not really something we get to see a lot from other teams in general, like to be able to adapt in the moment, and the fact that they did that brings us to Icebox here and now. I'm really excited to see Icebox always, but the fact that it's in such a high pressure situation with both of the teams ready to give it their all makes it that much better. Now, in terms of compositions, instantly I noticed for both of the teams some very obvious things. With for XTZ being that Sage picked up but no flash, and for Godlike no Sage, meaning it's going to be very hard to control that kitchen.
It's really interesting because, you know, in map 1, both teams had the same composition, but in map 2 and now map 3, both compositions are very much different. So you can tell that both XTZ and GodL, they have a different take and different understanding. Strategy that is coming in is also very unique to both teams. Now we're going to see XTZ Esports here with the game faces on, a lot of smiles. It's great to know that spirits are lifted. And as for Godlike Esports, they did take map number 1, losing map number 2. I want to see if they, you know, if their head is still in the game, if they're going to be able to pick up where they left off. And there it is, GodL. Unfortunately, we can't quite see Deathmaker just yet. But hey, everyone looks very much ready. Starting out on the side of defense, that is going to be GodL, and Deathmaker does pick up a kill. Hey, Von there, returning another 2 down, actually, on the side of XTZ Esports. So this is the kind of start that Godlike is definitely going to push. They want to make the most out of it. White Horse, he's just firing a few shots, trying to make it worth his time, pulling it back. Attackers, they're not going to give up just yet. They're going to keep fighting for it. And now the spike plant has been secured. Deathmaker moving in. White Horse, he's going to spot out the killjoy, picks up the killer to Wimp, and it's a 4v2 situation.
Now with that killjoy down, there is no real post-plant play for Godlike. So they need to, XTZ Esports need to try and push, but instead they're getting pushed on. Hevan with the diffuse, Deathmaker and Chivy with the peaks. It's Godlike Esports winning that pistol and doing so really well as they do so. In Icebox, like the map very much attackers favored, at least when you're carrying the right composition, is going to become paramount to XTZ Esports to try and pull off as many rounds as they can. And I'm curious to see their approach, because generally you expect teams to just completely give up kitchen because it becomes very hard to push through that stage wall that we see. But considering that Godlike don't have that, that is an avenue of approach that XTZ could employ to try and punish them, and we'll have to see if they do that. But for now, Godlike playing it very well on the retake. They pulled off pistols, so they get the buys for themselves this round. And I'm noticing a Marshall picked up for Hevan. Recent buffs to that gun make it much better to maneuver around, so I'm curious to see how exactly he does manage to pull it off. But XTZ, they're all stacked up, trying to go for B, but Godlike ready with the 4 stack themselves, answering back strong, kills in their favor, the Marshall with the kill, and it is Godlike now with the spike in their hand.
beautiful 2 shots that Havan has connected. He did pick up a kill and shot the next one extremely low. Now coming in with the rotation, XTZ, they're not going to gun for the B side, they're going for A instead. And defenders will be making their rotation very slowly as they have caught on to what is happening on the side of attack. Now Havan with that Marshall. I'm excited to see what he's going to be able to pull out here. Whitehorse and Chevy both holding Spectres, Raze and Killjoy, not exactly very healthy. And Whitehorse is going to pick up a kill onto Blackhawk. Harsh gets tagged by the Paranoia, waiting for the right time. Havan shoots him from behind. Wimp's going to pick up one. 1v2 situation, 12 HP. Wimp might not get out of this safe, and Havan to end off the round with a triple. Beautifully done, I would have to say, with that Marshall holding that Ghost as well, making full use of both weapons, and now retrieving the Spectre as he moves over into round number 3. Godlike on Icebox. I do believe the last time that we have seen Godlike on Icebox was when they were up against Global Esports, and it was a really tough game for them against GE because they were so well acquainted with the map. But hey, Godlike, they've had the practice, and it does seem like they understand how this map works. It's really up to XTZ now to move into round 3 to show us that they have the same understanding, if not even better.
Absolutely. But Godlike Esports, the operator online on Deathmaker, they're going to rely on him to anchor down that B side with the peaks coming in towards this A. You can see already XTZ able to get a trade, but Chicago getting 1 kill, meaning the trade's going in his favor. He's able to overheal himself, get back out there. A trade for a trade, really good for Godlike Esports, considering that they're the ones carrying mostly Spectres with 1 Vandal and 1 Operator. So as long as they're able to whittle down XTZ, that's where they can find their advantage. Now, towards that kitchen angle, you can see already Sai just hovering around that trap fire, waiting for his team to get into position before he makes that move. Doesn't want to reveal his position a second too early. But XTZ, the name of the game for them is try to hold it down, try to force a peek, punish that mistake before they move. But Godlike, being extremely disciplined, will not give them a single mistake to pounce upon. Instead, now XTZ, with time running out, forced to just commit onto his side. It's going to be B. Sai likely to end up breaking the tripwire right about now as he goes to the clear.
30 seconds left to work with, as Scargard did sign nasty with that headshot there. 4v3. And Deathmaker's gonna go down. Wimp just spraying away, and that's an operator loss. Godlike Esports, they're gonna feel the pain from losing that investment. And a way to wrap that up. Attackers came in hot and heavy. They even managed to get that spike plant right at the very last second. So, you know, extra cash in the bank. But good on XTZ Esports, picking up their first point. And they're still looking as cool as a cucumber.
Yeah, the fact that they're able to do so despite Sai going down in that kitchen is really good, because Sai had a really good angle. Like, if he'd been able to take down Scargod, that round would have been unquestionably XTZ's. But he was not able to do that, and that gave a lot of control back to Godlike. But that spam kill coming through on DM on the operator, able to take him down, when Godlike relying on the operator to solo anchor B, ended up being their downfall. XTZ took the side and the round. And now you can see Godlike, they made an investment, they're forced to eco, but eco doesn't matter, respective for Scargod. The plate stop for DM, what was that shot? Gets 2 more, and Scargod and DM, these duelists are on a roll.
Satchel out.
Deathmaker. Oh my goodness. Now Blackhawk, last man standing, has the spike on hand, making that rotation over to B side. Just gotta get through green, past yellow, and now Blackhawk going for that plant. Once the audio goes over Godlike Esports, they're gonna make that rotation. Now, how is Blackhawk going to play this? Because he could potentially be bombarded from many different angles. He's gotta play his moves right, he's got to play it smart, and that aim should work out for the better. Well, that was a really good kill on the Deathmaker, but Whitehorse there to just back up his buddy, and this is going to be an easy defuse. Godlike Esports, they're going to maintain that 2-round lead over XTZ, and also a thrifty round for them to take.
It'll be hard, but but I'll try.
I really like that the diffuse ended up going to the Sova. On this map, it's very important you take care of where the ult points are going. The ult points you can control at least, including the orbs, the diffuses, or even the plants. You want to feed your ult points to the agent that is most likely to have a lot of impact, and Sova is one such agent. The Hunter's Fury, as much as you're able to get it again and again, it ends up causing a lot of cross-map control, and given the size of Icebox, that cross-map control can be really important to being able to pull off a map. Now, for XTZ Esports, 3-1, they post onto an eco. The AWP back online on Deathmaker, but once again, it is Sai finding that first kill. Sai and Blackhawk are the solo members with the Vandals, and they're making it work. The duel is really allowing for a lot of space created by them for the team to push through. But ScarGod, he's a man on a mission. Continuously with last round with the aggressive peaks, this round once again getting the peak towards B, nullifying any hope of a push onto that side, and forcing XTZ to reconsider their scenarios, try to go to A. XTZ able to do that, but White House waiting with his utility. Is going to be down to him to stop this push.
All ultimates are very much ready for the side of XTZ. Now Deathmaker, he has the AWP in hand, and XTZ, if he can't get that away from Deathmaker, that is definitely going to put them in a much tougher spot. Now Sai, just in tune, keeping watch, waiting for that push. Rexy's going to pop that resurrection and bring back to life his buddy Wimp. Sai's going to find a third kill onto Whitehorse. Last two members left alive, going to be ScarGod and Deathmaker as they wait very patiently. They're very likely to go for the save. I mean, it's a 2v5 situation, and at this point, we're in map 3. You got to play your cards right. You got to play it safe, because one mistake could cost you the entire best of 3 series, considering that both teams have 1 point each. Now ScarGod moving into kitchen and into tube, most likely gonna let the spike defuse. And Deathmaker's gonna find the kill onto Sai. Great switch on that angle. ScarGod's gonna fall, and Deathmaker's gonna keep himself safe and watch every single angle. Rexy catches him from the side. A thrifty round for XTZ Esports. It's great because they only utilized one ultimate, and now they have 4. They have the Killjoy lockdown from the shadows with that Omen, Showstopper, Bladestorm. Moving into the next round, XTZ, they will be able to reclaim that leadership, that dominant role over Godlike. So huge mistake there. Good recovery for the attackers. Now, when we look at Icebox, right, we did have a discussion that, hey, Icebox is the type of map where it is kind of similar to Haven, where the map is relatively big and you can play from many different angles, you can set the pace. But then again, is it really an attack-favored map, or is it kind of just... It really depends on the circumstance and the compositions, because both these compositions are very much different, and the approach as well has to be different.
I mean, absolutely, right? At the end of the day, in competitive 5v5s, like, for a team to be on the same page is where they really thrive. You can see ScarGod, though, he knows exactly where the Omen likely to TP. Through the smoke, finds Hush, and now despite the lockdown going down, the spike hasn't been planted. A lot of tempo lost for XTZ Esports. Now they're having to go for the plant, but on the fringes of the site, Godlike already ready for the retake. Sai, with the off angle, he finds 2 kills, able to dash out in time as well, buying a lot of time for his team to get into their post-plant positions. For ScarGod, he wants more. He's able to pick up 1, is getting the resets for himself. Takes down the wall, but the Showstopper ready will not mean the post-plant easy for Godlike. Deathmaker, he finds him, takes him down. Now ScarGod with another, has his invisibility ready to go for it, but he doesn't need it. Finds this 4K, and that Reyna feasting on XTZ Esports to pick up the round for Godlike.
Talk about a goosebump moment. ScarGod played that absolutely insane, tapping on that spike and still being able to whip out that gun with precision. Now you see Sai here picking up that kill onto Whitehorse was brilliant. He finds that second kill onto Haven, but ScarGod negates all of his hard work with that amazing play he just pulled off. That's one. He's gonna find another and continue to mow down the last 2 members of XTZ. What a play. 9 kills on the board for ScarGod. Deathmaker just following behind. And Reyna suits his playstyle so well, just fragging completely out of his mind. Play however he likes, because Reyna allows you that kind of freedom. Now, Deathmaker picking up that first kill, a return from the side of Rexy. Deathmaker's gonna find the second, looking for the third, gonna switch up the angle, that's gonna be 3, he might just find 4. Deathmaker's gonna show us what he's made of. Not only is it gonna be Scar God, but that's gonna be an ace from Deathmaker. What a round from DM himself. I wish his cam was on because that was insane. Deathmaker picking up 5 kills in a matter of 10 seconds. What a spectacular play. It's brilliant. 10 out of 10. That was absolutely nuts. My head hurts just looking at that. He makes it look so easy. He makes that look so simple to do.
Yeah, Deathmaker turned B green into B red, a bloodbath.
out of my way.
Picking up headshot after headshot to get his ace and just completely ruining XTZ. And what was their buy round? Now XTZ with the eco inside with the Blaze Storm trying to make the moves. Pushed into Bit Boiler, aggressively able to pick up one and another. Gets traded out though, but 2 kills coming out for Sai, meaning the advantage to Godlike Esports. Now you can see White House, he's trying to nullify it, pulls out his hat, gives the information to his team, but the information not much use because XTZ able to take full site control, will be able to get the spike planted, and a very interesting plant because now they can play for that post-plant nanoswarm setup. You can see Godlike, they're waiting for DM and Heaven to get here before they push in for the retake. But with time running out, with those nanoswarm grenades set up, they need to go in now, and they're going to do exactly that. The paranoia to allow them to take control. The smoke's coming out to cover this belt area. Now they go for the diffuse, try to bring out the nanoswarms. You can see though, XTZ, they're ready. They're waiting for them to peek, and the peak will go in their favor. It's Hush with Black, and Blackhawk with another win to secure it 5-3 to XTZ Esports. At this point, this is exactly what XTZ need to do. They need to try and cause a lot of pressure on one side of the map while they slowly push another, because they don't really have flashes on their team. So to be able to substitute for a flash, you need to try and stretch Godlike as thin as possible, because in the post plants you have that raise utility as well as the killjoy utility to just delay the diffuse as long as possible. As long as you're playing for that, that's how you dictate the tempo on your attack.
Well said there. 13 kills for Deathmaker. XTZ, they gotta find their footing, find that momentum and rhythm to work off of. And this time the attackers are taking more of a defensive stance. We can see defense is also pushing up a bit more aggressively. Deathmaker just gonna pull it back at least with the side of B, and Havan as well. XTZ. Spike is on Rexy. Scargod's gonna find the first kill onto Blackhawk. Something that is very valuable, especially on that duelist position. Chibi pulling up the Hunter's Fury. Rexy's gonna pop that resurrection, and Scargod just immediately negates that ultimate. Now Harsh moving back into attacker side spawn along with Rexy. XTZ is going for this huge rotate and possibly an attempt to get the spike planted onto the B site.
Evan ready at Snowman though. He's gonna get smoked out, but this smoke could actually be his friend. Him lurking in there. Goes for the default spam though, and that will reveal his position. DM looking to use the chaos to push him, but it's Sai ready in the corner, picks up the kill, and now with the spike planted and yellow control, they're gonna try to get into that post plants, but the recon being a nuisance for them, it doesn't affect their positions though. Despite their locations being revealed, this XTZ pick up the first kill. Now White House on the flank, he's able to get one, but instantly traded out. XTZ with all the utility set up, it's gonna be a miracle if they end up losing this round. Hevan though, he's trying to go. But the shouted step a little late from the paranoia, meaning the audio key goes through to Sai and he picks up the kill. 5-4 XTZ with back-to-back rounds, meaning now Godlike, they're in a situation where they're gonna have to go for that eco, giving a chance to XTZ to equalize the score.
Sai there, very pleased with his performance with that 3K. Beautifully done, being able to pick XTZ back up. Now both sides, it does look like God L is forced into a little bit of a half buy. We do see one Spectre, a Stinger, and a Bucky for Havan. He does get pretty creative. I mean, he was one to pull out the Marshall, now the Bucky. I'm excited to see if he's going to be able to utilize that. White Horse with a very quick death from Sai there. Headshot, Deathmaker as well. 1-for-1 trade. Blackhawk Just gonna put out that boom buddy. Just to scout out, get a bit of information. Tosses out that nade. He knows there is one defender just hiding right there on site. Wimp. Patience is key. Hayvon with the Bucky. Now, this anticipation is absolutely killing me, but Wimp is gonna be very patient and very quick to take out Hayvon. Now, with the attackers taking control of the B site, the spike plant will be secured by Harsh. Remaining 3 defenders come in with the rotation. Deathmaker with the Blade Storm. Waiting for the right time, and there is the updraft. Not gonna spot anyone just yet. Scargod's gonna find Wimp, and he gets taken down. It doesn't look too bright for the side of defense as this retake is going down a second by a second. And now Deathmaker put in a vulnerable spot. He's gonna whip out that ghost, take out that turret. And the spike is ticking. I don't think the defenders are going to make it. Deathmaker, he's going to go down to Blackhawk. Not a chance for Godlike Esports, and XTZ brings it back to an even scoreline.
A bullet in the back for Shivy, meaning he couldn't save that Vandal as well. XTZ equalize it and make sure that no guns given over. So Godlike have to invest heavily into this round. There's no scope for that operator to come through. So definitely the driver's seat, XTZ in that driver's seat, looking to just try to push, get a lead for themselves in this attacking half. Because for them, going into that second half will be where Godlike feels slightly more comfortable. But with the Sage and the Killjoy combo for XTZ, the same goes for them. It then becomes purely about execution, and having a lead when it comes down to that just helps you make sure that you're not giving up any sort of unnecessary edge, not taking any unnecessary risk. Now XTZ, the lockdown ready on that Killjoy, they're stacking up on the A side. I'm expecting that lockdown to come out just as it is now as they go for that push. It's Blackhawk and the Jet inside, taking aggressive control of the vertical angle, picking up the first kill, and now going for the push, but White House actually waiting inside. I don't think XTZ were expecting that because there's a corner available for White House to look in. He picks up one for Blackhawk, trades him out. XTZ with the advantage, but having caused a lot of noise down at the A side. The From the Shadows come out for the Omen towards the Snowman. They're trying to go for the rotate, but this position for Hush is huge. He's waiting for them in the corner, picks up one, and is able to secure a really nice advantage for XTZ.
Shivy able to return that kill onto Harsh. Now, I'm not going to say it's entirely impossible for the side of Godlike Esports, but they've got to put a little bit more brains here as they are outnumbered. Now as the spike is ticking, Shivy just moving across Snow Pile. Checking all angles. He is going to be backed up by Hayvon. Out comes the recon bolt in hopes to get some info. Does immediately get destroyed. Shivy, the one to make the first step, and now the shock dart just to clear out an area. Hayvon goes down. Shivy's going to spot out Wimp, takes him out. 1v2. Time is against him, and it doesn't look too good. And there is the showstopper, Blackhawk connecting that ultimate. Total of a 3k to end it off, and XTZ definitely looks in the high spirits. We're gonna move into the last round before the swap, but for XTZ Esports to be able to achieve 6 rounds on the side of attack here, it does look really good for them, as their composition does point towards a direction where, you know, if they are on the side of defense, it is gonna work out in their favor as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, the key difference between XTZ on defense and Godlike is gonna become much less angles to control, right? Especially with that raise, when you have that as a duelist as compared to the Reyna, the utility you have to delay the push becomes much easier. So you try and play for the duels, which is where XTZ, as you can see, really excel individual dominance. Blackhawk and Hush picking up kill after kill, but Hayvon gets a lineup and a trade. The boombot exploding in his face though, meaning XTZ maintain their advantage. Now Blackhawk's position is revealed, but Shivy not checking right above him. Blackhawk and Shivy top and down. Blackhawk able to sneak into that defensiveness, and Shivy able to try to get to that spike, but you can see already Sai waiting in the corner. I don't think he's expecting Shivy here at all. Shivy gonna surprise the heck out of Sai, and with knowledge of exactly where the spike is, gonna call White House to him. Be like, come to the spike, set up your utility, and we'll try to hold down this spike and try to secure this round.
What a sneak by Shivy. Now it's down to the 2v2. Quite a bit of time to work with. It does seem like that Raze is going to retrieve that spike. Blackhawk has been playing out of his mind today, consistently
One
on
enemy
all
remaining.
3 maps. Jimmy's gonna take a Black Hawk, and Whitehorse appears at the right time to find Wimp. Beautiful communication coming out from the side of Godlike, and we're gonna end off the first half 6-6. It is right down to the wire. Both teams, they don't want to give up. Map 3 in this best of 3. They don't want to be eliminated. They don't want to say goodbye. And it's admirable looking at both these teams fight so hard to maintain their position in this invitational. Quick look at this instant replay. And, you know, this was at the beginning of the match where stuff went down. Black Hawk finding that kill, and the Boom Buddy comes out, which did eventually pick up Hayvan after he found the 2 kills onto Harsh and Rexy. So, you know, a lot of very iconic moments in these rounds. Funny stuff that does happen, but nonetheless, we can see the brain power put in by both teams. And, you know, I do believe Sai is the IGL of XTZ, and for Godlike, it's Hayvan. Definitely a battle. Sai there, putting down his mark in this pistol round by taking out Whitehorse. This is the beginning of the second half.
Now, aggressive push in. Godlike's trying to start off right, but the fact that they've already lost 1 kill makes this push even harder. But Scarguard, he refuses to back down, goes in aggressively, finds the headshot. The wallbang kill for him allows a lot of space for Deathmaker, as well as the plant to go down for Shiri. And Deathmaker picking up a kill, meaning the tables have turned. It's Godlike with the advantage, now able to retain yellow control as they go for the post plant. Now Scarguard and Heavan with another, with Deathmaker dashing in. Scarguard with the triple. It's Godlike Esports taking the lead with the pistol. A really nice round picked up for them. A really nice execution. Using this is the key difference between their aggressive pushes and the side of XTZ. Godlike have that flash in the arena to just continuously push forward and take point by point, take side control and get for the spike.
Indeed, and just to correct my mistake, it is not Sai who is the IGL, it is Wimp. And I do believe, you know, since the introduction of Wimp as the IGL, we can see XTZ has taken a little bit more of a different direction. And I have to say that they are playing extremely well. Now, with the first round in the second half under Godlike's belt, they are going to look to push that advantage as a general rule of thumb. Only 3 Spectres as a Hayvan and Deathmaker. They are looking to save their credits for probably a bigger investment much later. Rexy coming out on top, taking out Whitehorse, and that is definitely going to put a dent onto the side of Godlike. Whatever will they do to try and pull off this successful attack? Sai waiting very patiently in the mid area of the map. Here is the rotation coming in from Godlike as they might look towards the A site. We do see the Omen scanning the area. That's going to be Hayvan finding the opportunity for his team. I do like the way that this attack is set up. 1 member down, they can't afford to make any mistakes. Meanwhile, on the side of defense, Sai waiting so patiently, he's going to pick up Scarguard, and the attackers are just put in a much more terrible spot. Wimp's going to find Deathmaker, make that 2 kills for Wimp. Hayvan picks out 1, and he's bombarded by a gang of angry members from the side of defense. And a great way for XTZ Esports to maintain the equal scoreline.
Thrifty.
A thrifty round already. XTZ refusing to give up a substantial lead to Godlike, able to pull it off. Once again, being very unpredictable with their approach. The fact that the wall didn't go down in kitchen, instead it was Sai pushing in through the tube, causing a lot of havoc against Godlike and controlling that mid area by himself, giving so much information to XTZ Esports. The footsteps for the rotation that came out from B to A, revealed by Sai, his team, able to then use that extra bit of knowledge to get the rotate through earlier, reach on time before the spike was even planted, so that as soon as the spike is planted, they can push for the retake, not allow any room for Godlike to get into their post plants, and punish them heavily for leaving that mid unguarded. Sai playing that role very, very well. Thrifty for XTZ Esports, meaning they'll be able to get the buys. You can see already a couple of Spectres carried over, but it will be Blackhawk and Hush upgrading to those Vandals. So I'm gonna keep my eye on them, see if they can get their kills, because now Godlike on the eco, it's a chance for XTZ to take the lead.
Now we're gonna see Godlike Esports losing their round prior. Deathmaker, only 1 with the Vandal, some light armors. God L try to pick up the scraps here. If they do pick up at least 3 kills, you can say that this half buy round is definitely worth an And as for XTZ, they gotta look to be clean and possibly flawless. Deathmaker finding the first kill onto Black Hawk. Psy, along with his trusty buddy, Wimp, just defending the A site. Out comes the dark covers. God L, they are gunning for this plant. Psy, checking every angle just to be careful. Psy's gonna find Deathmaker. Beautifully done, 1-for-1 trade in total. We're down to 50 seconds. And meanwhile, 2 attackers have moved over to the B side. So you can see the strategy coming out from the side of Godlike. Harsh, however, is going to take a white horse. And Shivy has no clue that Harsh is right there. And look at this amount of patience. Harsh with the triple and make that a 4K. Brilliantly done. What was that, Harsh? What was that? I'm in as much shock as Rexy and Wimp right now. That was absolutely crazy. Holding it down. Harsh on Omen. I mean, that can never go wrong. Let's have a quick look here at the instant replay. Great bit of rotation coming out from Godlike, but they didn't expect Harsh to be there, watching the back lines of the B site, waiting so patiently for Skargot. Hayvan, quick to show himself in the line of sight, and, you know, unlucky for God L there.
I think they were like, this is the key issue that teams have with Icebox. Like, they're unsure exactly where Harsh was because of the fact that he could be up or down. Shivy not checking the corner ends up getting taken down. Now once again, Sai with a very aggressive peek. He's found first blood for his team. The wall coming down as they try to maintain that control, deny a push for Godlike into that mid area. And now Sai, he's going for the duel versus the position jet. Is Deathmaker though who comes out on top, finds his own headshot and equalizes the status here in this round. Now you can see Godlike, they made a very aggressive push onto this A side, but the Killjoy ready with all of her utilities set up. One Nano Swarm to protect against the plant. The turret as well, a very defensive position to play for that push coming in for from Godlike, meaning Wimp will be ready in every single position to block this push from Godlike Esports. One alarm board revealing where they are, meaning the support coming in from Wimp is Black Hawk with 1 kill. Instantly gets traded out, but with the information of where he is, Wimp finds another, jiggling through, able to keep his wife alive. Will mean the turret will give information to him about where they are. Wimp using that to perfection, playing the backside, finds another, and with the spike carrier down, it's gonna be up to White House. He knows where Wimp is, finds one, but he's blinded out very low. Harsh securing the round. XTZ looking very strong on defense now with the 2-round lead.
XTZ, they're coming back up, and since the side swap, now that they're on the side of defense, they do look a little bit more comfortable here. It's up to Godlike, definitely put on a much better performance here on the side of attack. But a quick look at this instant replay, kills across the board. Godlike not exactly very healthy to be able to hold that down, and Wimp able to take out Shivy, and Whitehorse 14 HP finds Wimp. But hey, a great way to end the round. Harsh there, securing that point for XTZ. Now the Blade Storm does come out for Deathmaker. Side with a beautiful up shot onto Hayvan, finding the first blood of this round. Now Deathmaker, it's his time. Greatly thrown out by Skargot. Here comes the second one as they double peek. Sai finds the second kill. Sai is on fire. Sai is absolutely on fire. He finds a 3K 10 HP, firing away at Shivy, and he's gonna be taken out by that Sheriff. But nonetheless, Sai, what was that? Very nicely done on that operator. You see the momentum very prevalent on the side of XTZ, and there's something about them. They came in on map 1 not looking too coordinated, but in map 2 and map 3 they definitely proved us wrong. And you know, we can safely say that hey, Haven might not be their map, you know, but at least looking at Bind and Icebox, they're definitely more comfortable here. Beautiful 3K we can see here on the instant replay.
Yeah, absolutely, right? Like, especially the fact that Sai gets to go on to his favorite jet where he can pick up the operator. Since they've won back-to-back rounds already in defense, the operator coming through because of that snowball eco and Sai making it work perfectly. The perfect anchor on that B side, playing a very off angle in his role. The B default, but a vertical angle in the B default, meaning Godlike not expecting it at all. They're completely surprised and taken down. It's XTZ with the double digits. on track to pull off an insane reverse sweep in this series, looking to make their way on to the next stage. For Godlike, they're gonna have a say in it. It's Deathmaker pushing in aggressively. He's found the first pick, but now that they've caused a lot of presence onto this B side, they're gonna potentially go for the rotate. Actually, scratch that. They're still committing onto this side, and this could be disaster for them because all of XTZ, they're waiting in the corners, ready for that Godlike push. It's gonna be Harsh finding the first kill. The spike carrier dropped. And with that spike shown, Godlike, they're fully committed to this side.
Down to this 4v4. Scar
Here.
backing up his buddy Deathmaker, not a lot of HP to work with as Harsh takes him out.
30 seconds
2v3 situation.
Last player
Stargod's gonna fall to Wimp. Beautiful 2K. And the momentum is high for XTZ Esports. 11 points. And look at Sai feeling himself. Harsh is so happy. XTZ. It's almost like they waited for the second half. So to be able to end off on an even scoreline in the first, that was definitely advantageous for them. And you know, we were saying that looking at the composition with the Killjoy, when we look at Icebox, I do feel that the Killjoy is a much better pick as compared to the Cypher. But hey, it could depend on the playstyle as well. And you have to say that Whip is definitely pushing the limits of this Killjoy. Right now with 15 kills, he is the second fragger on the board, and Sai has 19. So where was Sai? Where was he? Right now he is showing up in map number 3, and I think that is especially brilliant because different members of XTZ are rising up to the occasion when needed. Let's not disregard the fact though that Deathmaker has 20 kills, and that in itself is very impressive. 4 ultimates are ready. We're going to move into the next round, and Godlike Esports should do everything in their power to stop XTZ from achieving that match point.
Yeah, I'm going back to like the conversation of that Killjoy versus Cypher, right? As you said, I 100% prefer that Killjoy, but it really does come down to the Sage. Because the key reason you want to take that Cypher is so that you have a trap fire to set up in that kitchen area, because then when you don't have the Sage, you don't really have any other way to control that kitchen. The fact that XTZ have a Sage in their composition allows them to play for a much more site-focused hold, which is where the Killjoy is so damn strong. There is absolutely no way you can peek her, considering the turret really excels on the verticality of the map. The amount of information the turret itself is able to give with the peek coming out, if you keep it in an open position, it gives a lot of agency to XTZ, and that's why this Sage is just so renowned on most teams on the map. You can see Rexy, he's piloting it beautifully. The wall coming down in kitchen, allowing Harsh to anchor B-side solo. He holds down mid boiler, picks up a kill. Now Deathmaker will have the revenge for Godlike. He'll find the counter trade, but you can see that the kitchen push coming out, meaning Blackhawk, he hears it, he's ready to counter it. He's going for the peak. Blackhawk versus multiple, but it's White Horse taking him down. The hat coming off, and White Horse with all the information Godlike needs to make a push for this time.
Shivy missing that shot there, made out by Sai. And here is the battle. Sai's not going to come out on top of that, and a thrifty round for Godlike, catching XTZ Esports by surprise. XTZ's got to keep their head in the game, because when you look at God L, they have extremely strong mental strength. No matter the score, it's not going to phase them. They're going to keep fighting right to the very end, and I do like how they played this out. White Horse and Deathmaker finding the opportunity up in kitchen by going through tube was absolutely amazing. That neural theft as well was very handy, dished out by White Horse. So this is exactly what they need. Now moving into the next round, it could be a little bit sketchy for the side of Godlike Esports, solely for the fact that XTZ has all 5 ultimates up, and we have spoken about that Sage Resurrection acting as an ultimate that gives you potentially a 6th player. Now into the action, this is going to be Havan. Moving behind Deathmaker, they're looking to create some noise onto that B side. Paranoia has been dished out. Harsh with this signature position. He's going to wait very patiently, and Rexy's right behind him on this B side.
Approach from Godlike is all about like just slowly take areas of control, trying to punish XTZ for their tendencies of having to take a duel. You can see now with the Hunter's Fury coming out, though they're ready to make that push. Shivy able to take down Harsh, and Deathmaker taking down Rexy, meaning B-side completely open. But Wimp and Blackhawk on the backhand is Blackhawk taking down the spike planter, and through the wall finds the wall bang onto Scargod. Blackhawk with that double could be absolutely humongous, because now Deathmaker, he's left in a very sticky situation where he tries to get the plant through, but doesn't really have the time. Hevan, though, covering his teammates back, is able to take out Wimp, equalize the status in
player
this
standing.
situation. But Sai with the operator covering mid. Blackhawk with the showstopper going out. A rocket in the face for Hevan, but he jumps out of the way. The acrobatics from this player to barely keep his life. But with just 18 seconds and an operator towards mid, he has to commit that smoke, which means that Blackhawk will get a free peek on him as soon as he goes for the
10
plunge.
seconds left.
Hevan going for the fake instead. Blackhawk, though, very smart, playing the time, going for the wall ban, forcing Hevan to come to him. But you know what? Hevan gets Blackhawk, but the time runs out. Sai, he's just quickly dashing out there. Thank you for match point.
Not enough time there for Hevan, but I did feel he played that beautifully. Even being able to pick up that little side with that cheeky wink. Hey, you know, stuff happens. But that's going to be match point for XTZ Esports as they have successfully defended the side against the plant. Very nicely done. I mean, even if you lose all your lives, I mean, the point is what really matters because that's going to take you to the 13-point mark and then you can claim that map as your own. 8 is to 12. If Godlike wants to stay in this running, they have to take 4 rounds consecutively. No mistakes at all. Difficult ask considering the state of XTZ. They are on form. The Sage ultimate still very much available. It's going to be a tough one. Could be the last round for Godlike Esports or the beginning of an insane comeback.
An aggressive push down A stalled out by that lockdown going through, which will mean Godlike now trying to use the presence from Vitos to push into the side. But with continue his form from that last round, picks up 1 kill, equalizes status 4v4 on the map, and Shivy making his way through kitchen is going to be the X factor here. He has a spike, so if Shivy goes down, the spike will be revealed, and that's exactly what happens. Hush with a kill, Wimp with another. It's 4v2 with the spike spotted out. Godlike in an impossible situation in this round is going to be down to that maker to find kill after kill.
30 seconds
completely clear out this kitchen area so he can pick up the spike and maybe in time go for the plant.
player
Now DM,
standing.
he's going to get taken down, and on the precipice of the loss, it's Harsh with the kill
Defenders
on
win.
Hevan. XTZ will move on to the next stage.
What a game. What a best of 3. It is absolutely crazy. XTZ Esports, they're so happy. Wimp's camera has even flipped itself. What a great matchup. I felt that both teams played absolutely amazing. But congratulations to XTZ Esports for ultimately taking the win. What a good comeback. They gave away map 1 to Godlike Esports, and to be able to bring themselves back with map 2 and map 3, who would have thought that XTZ looked a lot more comfortable than I expected on Icebox. It was such a treat. And now we're going to move into the LG Ultragear match highlights and talk a little bit more about what happened in this best of 3 as well as map number 3. So I'm going to begin with Godlike Esports. Now, Godlike as a team, with the latest addition of Hevan, I did feel that this roster played very well. You know, when you have a new member into the roster, it gets a little bit tough when it comes to communication and synergy. But Hevan, as the new IGL as well, I think he worked pretty good. You know, just a few inconsistencies with GodL, but it's almost like when you watch GodL as a team, it's easily identifiable what their weaknesses are, and there's a lot of room for improvement. And the fact that, you know, that can be done with the team, I think they're going to go on to do amazing things. And as for XTZ Esports, their coordination and synergy in map 2 and map 3 was absolutely nuts. They had these rotations that was something that we've never seen XTZ do quite before. So I really like that they've taken that direction, and their very unique play style of, like, depending on the map, their members are going to play whatever they want, whatever they feel is going to be great. We saw Harsh on an array of agents. So, you know, XTC, a very unique team and very much a treat to watch as well. So good on them. Congratulations once again. What are your afterthoughts, CA?
I think it's, as you said, like for Godlike, the identity that they've started to build as a team, or a team that is focused towards one approach, has a plan coming into the game, is very important to their long-term success. And I'm really glad they're doing that. But it does come down to the fact that they are new to the entire approach, right? The Godlike we're seeing right now is not the Godlike we're used to seeing in the past couple of months. So they are making a conscious effort to try and switch to a more sustainable playstyle where they can continuously review their weaknesses, identify them, and become stronger as a team. That, of course, is going to take a bit of time. So I'm sure they'll come back stronger and they will be content with their performance, but a little bit disappointed that they are going out early. So I'm sure they'll take that as motivation to become even better. But XTZ, it's, as you said, I always say comfort is every single time greater than the meta, and it's the comfort of their individual players that nets them these insane duels and inherently round wins. XTZ is like a beast unleashed in the last two sets, so I'm just excited to see how far this team can go, how many upsets they can cause.
Congratulations, XTZ Esports, for taking the win. And as for Godl, this is not going to be the last time you see them. They're going to be around, and I hope to see them very soon. But for XTZ, I mean, that point that you just made, CA, about the fact that they're so unpredictable now with their picks, I think that is definitely something that they can pull out whenever they want. They're so consistent, and they've had a lot of flashy moments as well. So congratulations, XTZ. You guys deserve it. And that brings us to the end of the first half. We will have the second half, I do believe, beginning at 8 p.m. or maybe slightly later. So remember to like and subscribe and hit that bell icon so you get notifications whenever we are live. We still have the second half coming up. So this brings us to the end of the first half. Remember, play like the pros with 144Hz 1ms gaming monitors from LG Ultragear, and you can also upgrade your gaming gear with the latest esports offerings from HyperX. Links are in the description. Don't forget to check that out. And this brings us to the end. Thank you guys for watching. It was amazing. My name is Apollonia. I was your host and caster, and joining me on the panel, it was CA, caster and analyst, and you caught a glimpse of aggressive as well. So without further ado, take care, guys, and happy gaming. We hope to see you guys for the second half.